two brothers and gamers that have been playing games since the early 1980s. Combined, they have over 65 years experience. Join them each week as they discuss and rant about gaming and entertainment news. This is Generation X Gaming.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week, another episode of Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. I'm your host, 30 and Still Gaming, and joining me each and every single week is Sgt McClusky. What's going on, bro?
Before you move on, I don't want to interrupt the flow of the show, but I was just kind of looking at the YouTube stream, and I don't see it come up. It said video not available. I'm just making sure that you make sure you're on.
Nope, it's on. It's okay. You had to refresh. Sometimes it doesn't refresh.
Oh, I'm refreshing.
Yeah, no, it's there. I know because I'm monitoring it on my.
Okay.
Yeah. What's going on, chat? What's going on? Generation X Gaming is the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. We're live Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on 30 NSG. You can also listen to the past broadcast right here, or you can also go to Spotify, Anchor.fm, iTunes, Google Play, and anywhere else a podcast is able to be listened to. So we appreciate you very much. As the title says, Christmas came early, okay, Sarge, because right now there is a ton of people just on Steam. A ton of people.
A ton.
It's 358,000 people
playing
Marvel. It doubled. I told you.
It doubled since we were talking.
I said it'll hit almost 400,000 by the time we go live. Marvel Rivals right now is at 358,000 people playing on just Steam. Okay, I said it'll hit about 800,000 this weekend. It'll probably hit more than that as people get off work, people go for the weekend.
Incredible.
So Christmas came early for Marvel fans. Christmas comes early again tomorrow for Path of Exile 2 fans or Path of Exile fans. If you're an Indiana Jones fan, that's coming out like the next 24 hours. There are so many games coming out, and there's other games that that are off the top of my head right now. I think Delta Force just dropped as well. So Christmas came early, and that's why the channel's called that, because we're going to cover Path of Exile. We're going to cover Marvel's Rivals. We're going to cover a couple stories about Kingdom Come Deliverance. We're going to talk about X Defiant. We're going to be talking about Mattel and Hasbro. We're going to be talking about PlayStation and AI gaming. We're going to be talking about Legos. We're going to be talking about Indiana Jones and Star Citizen. So lots of different stories we're going to talk on this channel or on this show tonight. Episode 420. 420, bro. 420, bro. We made it. Yeah. It would have been nice if I planned it 10 years ago that episode 420 would fall during 420 day. I would have to look it up 10 years ago to try to figure out when it would have been a big plan. So
big, very bigly, very bigly.
Very big. Another week, Sarge, what have you been doing? Before we get into what we've been playing, just how you been? It's been 2 weeks because we were off last week for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Right? So anything exciting happen outside of gaming for you?
No, it's all not gaming. The whole last 2 weeks has been not gaming. It's been Christmas lights, Christmas shopping, Black Friday sale, Cyber Monday sales,
right?
Bill paying,
$10 Tuesday sales,
like all the things that.
What the hell doing. Wednesday?
Yeah. The only gameplay I actually played, honestly, this past week was when I played with you for Path of Exile. I barely touched any games for the last 2 weeks because of that.
My wife has removed all of the normal mugs in the house, so I have to drink out of Christmas.
A giant reindeer? Is it the Wally World? Is it a big moose?
It's the snowman.
You don't have that? You don't have the
Marty
Wally World
Moose
mug?
No, I don't have. That's a glass, and I don't want the glass. They sell it. We bought it.
But don't you want one of those really clear coffee cups that they show all the coffee commercials in? Do you know why they show that? Because they want to show you the richness of the coffee.
Oh, is that what it is?
No one in the right mind is drinking out of a glass cup with hot coffee in it.
Right. Is that why they do it? I don't know if that's...
Yeah, it's for the color. It's for the color. Did she put up her village yet? Is the village up yet?
Robert Jones says, "Does your wife change all the house decorations for the seasons?"
Yeah.
I have a snowman mug right now. Do you think my wife doesn't change the dishes and the decorations in the house every holiday? Come on, Jones. What are we talking about here? Yeah, we just went from the only time, babe. Yes. Can you grab that box for me? And I grabbed the box, and then can you put this box up? And then I put the box up, right? And it's the fall plates and the winter plates and the spring plates. So, yeah. So after Thanksgiving last week, I've did I tell you the story of the guy I yelled at, Sarge, in the car? He almost killed himself, his kid, and everybody else on the road. Right. I was coming back from a doctor's appointment. Okay.
This was recently?
I think it was before I came down. It was the day I came down. I didn't tell you at Thanksgiving. I don't remember if I told you this. Right. So, gentlemen, I think I told you, chat, didn't I? I think I told you guys. Because it was that morning, I think I told you. Guy came driving down the road, and he was swerving. Because he was literally just like this the entire time. Driving a car, 50, 60 miles an hour down the road. Like this. Just looking at this phone.
Yeah,
Swerving.
because
big
the auto
swerves.
brake,
Yeah, big swerves.
auto braking system, the beep thing beeps if you go outside the lane. That's how he's driving.
Yeah.
When he hears the beep, he just turns the wheel back the other way.
Yeah, big swerves, right? So then all of a sudden I'm irate, right? Because I'm a person that I will not look at my phone when I drive. I drive a car when I drive. Imagine that, right?
Yeah.
So
That's how that works.
I start using vocabulary that my wife loves to hear, right? Like literally, she loves to hear me curse.
Was your kid in the car?
No, my kid, we dropped him off at school, right? We're coming back from school, coming back from the doctor's appointment. He's swerving all over the place. And all of a sudden we're coming up to it's a 2-lane road, right? It's just a 2-lane road. That's it. 1 lane each way. Okay. He's swerving in, almost hits a head-on collision with another car, swerves back into the lane.
And this is why you need a dash cam.
Right. So that's exactly what I said. I said, this is exactly why I need a dash cam.
You need a dash cam.
So he pulls into the turning lane, and I was going to turn because I wanted to get a coffee, but I decided to go straight because I started rolling down my window. My wife knew what I was doing. She's like, Michael. I'm like, no. I was like, this fucker needs to get some words spoken to him, right? I pull up. This man, twice my size, okay? Big, tall guy. You could tell he's a big guy, okay? He's just like this, right? He's just... And I start cursing. I'm like, what the... But the window's up. His window's up. And he's just looking at me like this, like, what's this guy doing? Like, why is he yelling at me? Right? And he rolls down the window, and he's about to say something, and then I see his kid in the back seat. And I go, you have a kid in the car? I was like, and you're driving like that and looking at your phone? I was like, you could have killed you, your son, and everybody else. I was like, you're a selfish... And I just started going off, and he just put his phone down, and he looked at me and went, okay. And then, right? And I was so irate. All right, I would have punched somebody. I would have got out of the car and strangled him. I would have, right? Because he literally almost killed a person on a head-on collision. No, not like nothing ever happened, right?
That doesn't matter to people. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I was so furious. Yeah, I was so angry, and my wife just looking dead straight. She's just like, "Okay, is this almost done? Are you almost done?" I was like, "No, let him out. I'm letting him know what I'm doing." Right. So I was hope for an inkling of time when I drove away. I was like,
you want to know why he said that? He's twice your size. You want to know why he said yes? Because in today's world, nobody knows who's got that. That's why. Right. Nobody knows who's got one.
Well, no,
but that's why he said okay.
Well, I think he was about to go off on me, but when I saw his son in the back seat, and he was like maybe 4 or 5. Right, his son looked at me like, "Why is this guy screaming at us, Dad?" Right,
yeah.
and that was the start of my Thanksgiving. That was the start of my Thanksgiving. So, the inkling in the back of my brain was like, that guy right now somewhere is telling the exact same story, but the only difference is some crazy white dude started yelling at me, but he left out the part of he was on the phone and almost killed somebody, right,
including his own son.
Correct. Right. Yeah. I think
because someone that big would never go through the windshield. He would just bang off the steering wheel. His son would have moonshotted through the roof, through the windshield.
I was just like, what? I was like, if it's so important, just pull over, man. Just pull over, right? Put Bluetooth on. Do something, right? Anyway.
A lot of options.
Anyway.
A lot of options.
Generation X Gaming. Ranting along the way. It's part of the rant. Okay. All right, Sarge. Let's this is a preemptive warning for anybody if you're new in the channel.
Loud.
This is loud. I'm doing the intro into what we've been playing.
We're still working on the program.
Yeah, I'm just lazy. Right? I don't drive with my phone in my hands, but I also forget to edit stuff in my free time. So, earbuds in your ears, headphones, just pull it away just a little bit. And 3, 2, 1. It's loud. It's just loud. Are you guys up? Are you ready? Are you ready for some Generation X gaming? All right. What have you been playing, Sarge? Another week down. What have you been playing? Anything new besides what we played last night on Shooting the Shit with Sarge?
Well, I had a bad weekend with my Hell Let Loose team because most of them didn't show up, and so we had to spread out a little bit. But what made it worse was the entire time we were playing, no matter what squad we were in, nobody was talking, but their mics were open. So you hear their life
eating
life,
chips.
Yeah, their
kids
life
screaming in the
going on
background.
Dog barking, wife yelling, him snoring, people chewing.
I love those times. Yeah, those are great.
And I'm being honest with you. I left a squad, joined another one. Same shit, right? And you'll hear a whole argument going on, and I'll be like, Big E, your mic's open. Just let you know, right? Oh, you hear fuck you, but
yep.
Every squad. I'm like, what's going on this weekend? Nobody's talking actually into the mic, but the mic is open and life exists. That's what's happening. I'm like, what is happening?
Why even have a mic? Why?
It's me.
That's a question, chat.
And the other guy. It's me and the other guy. We're talking.
Why play a social game and have your mic open if you're not going to communicate? You could listen. You don't need to have a mic opened. You could just listen. You don't actually have to speak. You could just mute that bitch, right?
Speaking of muting, right? I tried to use that awesome Japanese.
Oh, how's that working?
With the scout symbol on it.
Also scout.
Can't get it to work. Plugged it in, unplugged it, plugged a different piece in. Won't work. Press scout. All I keep hearing is, awesome mode. Awesome mode.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago, we talked about
volume up, volume on, scout mode, voice mode.
Scout mode.
No, just no. No. Just want it to work, man.
So are you returning them now, or is it too late?
Well, you can't return this piece of junk. I have the other one. I have to. I got two. One different than the other. This one doesn't have the little picture of the scout on it. Makes no. It's like one of those fucking shows, Mike, with hieroglyphics, and you're like, what does this even mean? There's no instructions. It's just a dude squatting with a gun. It's prone. What am I supposed to believe when I press the button? What am I supposed to believe?
Oh, my monitor that I bought. My wife bought me a monitor for Black Friday.
Yeah.
Right?
Did it fall off the back of a truck?
No. It's a great monitor.
Is it?
It's a good monitor.
I should go to the store, don't you?
Well, yeah, I think you missed the deal. Right. But anyway, the default on this thing was not in English. So I was trying to
off a truck.
No, it wasn't off a truck. It just so I was pushing. I had to go to a tutorial online to figure out. I was like, okay. So then I had to look at it and go, okay, that's English. And then I went to English. I was laughing so hard. I was like, I can't understand what is the right channel. I couldn't do it. So I figured it out.
So you have a TV that's on Japanese mode right now?
No, it's on English now.
Okay.
It just yeah.
It just didn't come that way default.
What I guess
which means it was stolen off the back of a truck. That's what that is.
Is that what it is from Best Buy? Stolen off Best Buy?
When they send things to the States, it's all set up for American. If you're getting stuff here and it's set up for Japanese, someone stole that bitch somewhere along the way. That's what that is.
Well, it's the AOC various Bravas
great name.
C27C4X. It's a
180 digits.
180 hertz. 0.5 milliseconds. It's a great monitor. I've been gaming on it. It's fantastic. It comes with back in the day, Sarge. Now we used to just put a piece of tape on the television set. You put a little black marker and then
center
put
of
a
the
piece
screen.
of tape, center of the screen,
Center of
right?
the screen, yeah.
This has it built in.
What, there's a dark mark in the middle of the screen?
No,
when it loads up, it puts one there.
No, it puts a crosshair in the middle of the screen for you.
For any game or first-person shooter?
For any first-person shooter game, yeah.
For any first-person shooter game,
Yeah.
it puts a digital crosshair on
so you know where the center of the screen is, yeah.
So you can no-scope everything.
Basically, I guess, yeah.
Back in the day, that was called cheating.
Yeah, so was the piece of tape with the little marker on it.
Standard operating procedure now.
Right? I mean, how much did that cost? A piece of tape and a magic marker. You just that was it.
I just used one of those little red dots. The little red dots.
Yeah, well, you can get that. You can get that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, just Scotch tape,
Yeah.
red dot. That's it. Done. Now it's built in. Now it's built into an actual. We've come a long way. We've come.
Incredible. Crosshair on the monitor.
It does the frames per second on the monitor.
Crosshair on the monitor and red dot for $1 right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Now, if you hip fire, you'll miss. Maybe. Yeah, I'll put two. But here, I'll use the crosshair dolphin for the game, and then I'll take the piece of tape for the hip fire, and I'll put it where the hip fire hits.
All you have to do is find a wall inside the game, and you stand in front of it, and you hip fire, and you see the spread.
That's it. And then you put the.
That's all.
You put the tape.
Then you know where to. Then you know where to put it.
Yeah. Sorry. So, what have you been playing?
Besides the horrendous Hell Let Loose matches for the entire weekend, that was horrible. But PoE was it. Playing PoE 1 in order to get psyched up for PoE 2. That was it.
I like that yesterday. You're like, when's the last time we played this? It was like 7 years ago.
It can't be 7 years.
Yes, it was.
That game's been sitting on my hard drive for 7 years. I don't think so.
I can tell you why. Because I remember we played Destiny 1, and then the Gooch.
Diablo 3 sucked.
The Gooch stopped playing Destiny.
Right.
Between Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, because he didn't want to get Destiny 2.
Right.
So he started playing Path of Exile, and then we started playing Path of Exile with him. Right. So that was 2017.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So when we were playing the game, that's the last time I really played. Besides 4 days ago when I tried Path of Exile on the PC.
That's because we were no lifing Destiny at the time.
Yeah, we were no lifing Destiny. We were nothing but Destiny. Right, between
when you have to grind for Destiny, you don't have time for anything else.
Hey, it was a job. You had to check in, you had to log in, go to the tower, do your dailies, do your missions, do your strikes, right?
And lo and behold, that whole concept in today's world is destroying gaming.
Yeah, it's just every game now has that.
Because nobody can do anything else if you're only no-lifing the game, and they want to know why people aren't buying games.
You don't even have to no-life a game, right? Let's just say you're playing a couple of games. Let's say you're playing, all right, like Marvel Rivals, you got to check in. Brighter Shores, you got to check in.
Oh, it's check in, baby.
You got Fallout 76, you got to check in. Fortnite, you got to check in, right? You're just checking in. It's like someone said the other day, First Descendant. If you play for 14 days, log in for 14 days, they'll give you the Ultimate Bunny suit. Okay, just check in for 14 days. Okay, so all right, go check in, right? And I think about the mindset of this. It's like, okay, you're just going to check in. You're not going to play the game. You're just logging in to go, okay, day 1. Then you come back, day 2. By day 14, you finally get the suit, and then do you play the game? Or do you just go, okay, I got the suit, and then you not play the game?
Yeah, but first you get the suit, and it goes, they play some rap song for you getting on that many times in a row for the booty. You got
the jiggle effects going on. Yeah.
It should almost be like a little cutscene of her in the suit jiggling. That would be.
I just think, does people not play a game for 14 days just to check in, and then when the 14th day comes, they get the suit, and then they start playing?
I mean, that is the greatest example of digital yoga pants in any character, I think.
Have you seen? Hold on.
I've watched the rest of them. They're pretty close, but Bunny in that suit is like yoga pants in reality.
I'll show you. They just posted this in our Discord earlier. This is in the First Descendant in our channel. Let me bring this up. Where is it? First Descendant. The First Descendant. There it is. Okay. This looks like balloons. Okay. Like. No joke. Here, let me. I'll stop that and then share the screen again.
Is there a drum roll? No.
Yeah, no, there's no drum roll. What is this? This is okay. This is this. Yeah. Okay. Okay. It looks like two balloons pushed together with the latex. Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
This is what. But But do you have the balloon sound effect, bro? Like that's
when she walks, that's all you hear. Yeah.
When she walks, that's what you hear.
Yeah. Yeah, just that's all you hear.
Okay, but to be fair, you're playing in third person, so good job, devs.
Right.
Good job.
Right.
Yeah. Like I'm sure if it was possible to play facing the camera, we could have guys with no shirts on ripped for the girls. Yeah. I'm sure that would work, but I still think girls look at guys' asses type of thing. I think we could do the same type of thing for the guys.
Sure.
That would be a problem. But it's just hilarious that's the precedent you're setting. Check in for 14 days and you'll get a booty count. You get a booty outfit.
You get the ultimate bunny outfit.
Yeah.
That would be great if that was part of the sound effect. Like they're like doing one of the poses and you hear like it's the balloon sound as they're moving.
I wanted to post a question to chat because I'm having trouble figuring out the game that I did not finish, and I want to go back and finish it. Right. So it was a Final Fantasy game. Okay. It wasn't 10 with the space volleyball thing. It wasn't that one, right? However, the first couple levels was like a desert area with dinosaurs, and like one of the bosses was like a T-Rex. Does anyone remember which Final Fantasy that is? It was on PlayStation. Right? I don't remember.
That's a quest from an NPC, chat. If you accept,
No, I'm asking chat because I know a lot of people play Final Fantasy, and I know they'll know it because I know they're re-releasing all the Final Fantasy games.
21 minutes, Sarge. Final Fantasy 8. Eclipse says Final Fantasy 8? Question mark.
No, Krebsy, it can't be 6 because it was after 10. It was after 10 because I remember I stopped playing at 10 because I thought it was too goofy. And then another one came out. You think it was 6? No, I don't think it was 6. It had to be after 10. It had to be after 10.
Doesn't sound familiar to me, so it had to be one I didn't play.
Like the first couple levels of the game, you were in a desert area. And one of the bosses you had to fight was a giant T-Rex. You get your ass kicked all the time until you got leveled up. Right? Is it 12, Brain?
Eclipse says 012.
Because I know you guys are gonna think I'm crazy. I had a dream about it. I don't know why. And the dream put me in the exact same spot I was, and I didn't finish the game. I played it almost like 90% to the end, and then stopped playing it. And then my PlayStation had broken or something happened, and I never finished the game. Never finished it. And so now that they're re-releasing the Final Fantasies, I want to try to get it and play through it.
To get the Concord numbers, I'm going to have to try to shrink out the other numbers, the first 3 digits, with 282. That'd be the Concord numbers.
Is that the number for Rivals?
That's Rivals right now, 400,000.
Listen.
It's tripled.
It's
tripled since the time just before we started this stream.
I really, really hope, honest to God, I really hope that all of you that are waiting for this game to come out and want to play it.
It's out. It's out right now.
I know. I really hope that they don't push buffing and nerfing and all this nonsense. Just let the game be fun.
We'll get that in a second. We'll get there.
Let the game be fun, please.
So I've been playing Brighter Shores, still enjoying the game. Okay, there's a massive grind going on with Brighter Shores. Here's my one of my I was just doing the 3 missions that I was supposed to do, right? In Brighter Shores, there was like a 1-star mission, there was a 3-star mission, and then there was a 5-star, or 5-star? I think it was a 5-star mission. From 1 and 2, I completed in the first like maybe 5 to 10 hours, okay? The third star, or the third mission, which is the 5-star mission, Sarge, it took me an additional 60-something hours just to complete it, right? I went off on a little bit of a tangent onto the next episode or whatever, but I came back to do the episode. It took me an additional 60 hours to get up to my gathering up to like 40, my alchemist up to 50, my cooking up to 61. I think they have to change a little bit of the grind for the different missions, but I'm still enjoying that game. I don't know why, but obviously it's going to take a backseat a little bit now because now Marvel Rivals is out, so I'm going to start playing that a little bit, and then Path of Exile 2 comes out. I'm going to wait till probably next week.
You don't have a prayer. You're probably going to be playing Rivals for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Until the servers calm down for PoE.
Yeah,
then you're gonna go
that's what I'm saying.
PoE.
Yeah, I won't touch PoE probably till late next week, maybe 2 weeks.
So are you getting Rivals on PC, right?
I downloaded it for both. I got it for PC and for Xbox because there's no cross progression. So
there's cross play, but no cross progression.
There's cross play, but when you play ranked, you can't play against people on the PC. You can only play people against console and people on PC. So it's PC versus PC, Xbox versus Xbox in ranked. Unranked, you can play anybody.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm playing Brighter Shores. Path of Exile we were playing. I played a little bit of Path of Exile off of stream on the PC. And then last night we played Path of Exile on stream. Within the first 20 minutes of playing Path of Exile, I was like, oh, I like this. I was like, this is the... Because when I played the other day, I was playing a character and I wasn't starting fresh. So I was like kind of lost and I was like, what am I doing? And then yesterday when we played, I've never played range before. And the range one, it's like we were dying a couple times early on, but then I found the right things. I have a whole legendary set going on right now. I'm like one-tapping things. I'm blowing things up. It felt really good and powerful. The power fantasy was really good last night.
The only thing different now is, from what I saw from the PoE 2 deep dive, was the fact that you can do the same thing you're doing now, except you could be moving while you do it, because normally when you're firing, you have to stop and fire.
Right.
But in PoE 2, you could be moving and firing.
Yeah, and there's that roll. The one thing, it's funny. You don't really realize that you really want to do that until you've played a game where you can roll or dodge.
And then can't.
And then you can't. And I'm like, what's happening? It's almost like playing a game where you can't jump.
Can't jump.
Yeah.
Right. Can't jumps in the game.
It's like you're glued to the ground.
I'm pressing A. Nothing's happening.
Nothing's happening.
What?
Yeah. I don't know which one I'm more excited for. And it's funny because Marvel Rivals, up until this point, I was excited when they first showed it. I'm not really a big Overwatch person. And I've been the beginning of the year. We're in December now, obviously. Last year or early this year, first thing I said is this year I wasn't gonna I'm gonna keep my expectations low, right? I'm gonna keep my hype low, and it worked out pretty well this year because the stuff came out. I wasn't like super hyped about something, and then when something came out, it disappointed me.
It was a shit tornado the whole year, bro. Of course,
well,
you didn't have high expectations.
Well, no. Well, like I didn't have any expectations.
After getting punched in the face for 6 months in a row, we're like, I just stopped looking.
I didn't have any expectations for Power World, and Power World came out, and I had a lot of fun with Power World. I had no expectations for Helldivers 2. Had a blast playing Helldivers 2. I had no expectations for Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad, even though everyone hated it and it got shit on, I enjoyed the actual story, right? I didn't have these like high expectations of this thing. I knew what the end game was going to be before it even got there. I was just playing for the story, and I enjoyed the story. Every game that I played or every game that I found, I just enjoyed. I didn't have this like even Outlaws. Outlaws is broke. Okay, when it came out, it had its problems, but I enjoyed the game because my expectations were lower, right? So I wasn't hyped at all for Marvel Rivals until about 3 days ago. Right, 4 days ago when they said Wolverine's coming in, and I was like, all right, now I'm sorry. What'd you say? Did you say Wolverine's coming in?
I thought it was Hulk was your thing. Now it's Wolverine.
No. My three ones are in order: is Wolverine, Hulk, Spider-Man. Right. Those are my three. Okay, but they never put Wolverine in the game. Okay, they never put Wolverine in the game. They never put Hulk in a game. Okay, and when they did, I loved it when I played Marvel's Avengers. Okay, right. I'm waiting to see if they ever put like X-Men a guy in there for Wolverine. Never did.
I remember playing with you and having you clear an entire room before I got a chance to punch anybody in the face.
Yeah, Marvel Future Revolution had Wolverine, and I played it, but then they closed it down right like shortly after, a couple months. And I was like, God damn it, man! Why can't we now? Wolverine's coming out on PlayStation, so I'm kind of excited, but not excited for it, right? So now they have this, and this just looks like fun, man. This looks like fun. So
that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping they just let the game be the game and just have fun. By the way, I watched that video when you were watching it today. Like, Wolverine looks fat as fuck. It looks like he needs to be on Ozempic immemily. Like, I don't understand why he looks like that. He looks like he's been drinking too long. He's bloated.
He looks sort of like Puck. You remember Puck? from the X-Men.
He looks like Lobo, is what he looks like.
He does. He looks like a little bit like Lobo.
He looks like Lobo. I don't understand why he's so fat.
I think they made him a little too big, but it's all right. He looks badass in that suit, which we'll talk about in a second. It's weird that Doctor Strange is a tank. I mean, he's a support character and a tank.
They're trying to subvert your expectations, Travis.
Yeah. No, I actually kind of like the what they've done so far with characters. I haven't touched it yet. I logged in. I looked at some stuff. We're gonna do that after stream. But I wanna get into the top stories. So let's get into top stories. Yeah, Sarge is ready to take his headphones off. Here's the next loud thing that's about to happen. So pull your earbuds out. Here we go. All right. If you guys have any questions, you can put a Q in front of your question or in front of your in chat. We'll save it for later for the end of the show. If you have a question that you don't want to wait for the end of the show, you can always use a super chat. It helps us out over here as well. All right. So one of the first stories I want to talk about, Sarge, is we talked about Fallout London a couple of months back, right? Fallout London.
I want to buy. I'm waiting for a sale again to buy Fallout again on PC because I want to play Fallout London. I don't have it on PC.
Well, Fallout London is getting its own DLC. So it's DLC. It's DLC for a game that's not by Bethesda, and they did very well. People really liked it. It scored high amongst the people that played it and whatnot because it's not official, right? It's free, by the way. You could just download it. It doesn't cost anything. And it's so bizarre. Now they're getting their own DLC. It says Fallout London's team announced that DLC for the successful Fallout 4 mod, the 1.0.3 update for Fallout London, will introduce changes that are also they'll be part of the DLC. And the DLC provides excellent news for fans, making up the lack of single-player content in the Fallout franchise. We talked about this before, man. I was just like...
It's incredible.
I just wish that Bethesda or Microsoft would be like, hey, why don't you come on board and just keep making content what you guys are doing and we'll pay you, right? But obviously Microsoft and them, they're like,
that's too easy, bro.
They're not going to do it because they don't want to pay anybody.
Right? They don't want to pay anybody that understands the lore and what they want in a game. You can't do that.
Yeah,
can't do that. I want to know, do they have like some kind of secret PayPal account someplace where guys secretly tip them?
No, you can. Yeah, you can donate to them.
You have to understand, if you look at what they have done in that development of this Fallout London, if you look at it, how much passion do you have that in your spare time you're doing this and you're not getting paid, right? But as we know, for the most part, a lot of guys that do this kind of stuff end up getting hired anyway because they realize that they need these kind of people to be on board with one of their AAA companies. You know this, right? But even though Fallout's been played out, the whole 76 thing's got its own community. It's all about the new stuff coming up around the corner. These guys have done a fantastic job.
This is better than the actual game itself.
It's just so incredible, the attention to detail they put in there, just based off of nothing, right? You're basing it off the story of what the rest of the world was going through for when the bombs dropped, and you just ran with it.
Which I think is fun because obviously I think Bethesda themselves has said that, nothing outside the United States, right? So this is like its own little lore that they're doing over here, pretending. I love stuff like this. I haven't played it myself, but I think it's funny that these guys will probably make better content and faster content than the actual games that are AAA studios that are making, which is just absurd. These are people in their spare time, making mods, and it's crazy. So
that's what gaming was built on, right? The games that we got 20 years ago, the big IPs that were started were from guys like this who had an idea and just built upon the idea. That's how we got all the AAA games that we got, right? It saddens me to see that we've gone so far off the tracks that we're struggling to make it just a normal, proper game.
Right.
Right. And this is why I say I really hope Rivals does well. Like, enough characters, no nerfing and buffing, just have people play the fucking game and have some fun with it. Let the game be the game. Don't pull don't please don't pull the same shit. Please just let it be.
All right,
Don't be Helldivers. Don't let the game come out and then everyone loves it and then you choke it. They love it. We must put more inside the game. Like, why? Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
So the next one, we're going to start talking about Marvel Rivals because right now it's banging. 418,000 people are playing the game. Okay, right now on Steam, just Steam. Okay, I talked about this earlier in my stream this morning. I talked about how the
I know all about this.
Ex-Blizzard president calls Marvel's Rivals a clear copy of Overwatch and points to Black Widow and Widowmaker's similarities. And the very first thing before I even read the article, I was like, first of all, it's clickbait, right? I was like, first of all,
absolute clickbait.
First of all, it's clickbait because why do I honestly give a shit that the ex-Blizzard president calls for this? Because he's the ex-Blizzard president. He's not with them now. Now, Mikey Barra has said some things where someone pointed out this is the same guy who also wanted to tip the developers.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, because the developers aren't getting paid, bro.
It's right. The Fall London guys, the Fall London guys aren't getting paid.
Here's $27.50 for my pizza. Do you want to tip me for standing here? Oh
right.
Yeah, I want to tip you.
So, which I thought was funny. The second thing out of my mouth was that I was like, does he really understand that Black Widow? And it says in the article as well, but she was way before Overwatch. She was way before, like 50 years before.
Yeah.
Okay. So much so that you could say that Widowmaker was based off of
Black Widow
and other femme fatales and stuff like that from, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it seems a little funny that he says what he says, and it's like, but why would you say this, right? Because I also brought this up that Rod Ferguson, right? Path of Exile 2 is coming out tomorrow. Rod Ferguson, the day that Path of Exile drops their stuff talking about what Path of Exile is, he comes out and starts saying that, you know what they should do? We should make other games that are like Diablo, call them Diablo-like, Metrovania games. And
we decide that. We decide that.
Right. So
we decide that.
You have one person from Blizzard talking about Diablo and going against Path of Exile, and now you have an ex-Blizzard employee going up against the Overwatch clone. Like, we all know, right, chat, that it's an Overwatch clone. We know, they know, everyone knows, okay? But they've also made it into their own, right? Yes, it's an arena thing, right? It's like they're doing the exact same with the payload, and we get it. But what they did better was they took an IP that everyone loves, okay, and they made it into a game. And I've been saying this for years. I said, hey, Destiny, put a Star Wars Destiny, put a Transformers Destiny, put a Marvel's Destiny. It would be better because those IPs are already huge and they would bring in people. And voila, here you are. So another thing was happening. They showed Black Widow off a couple days ago, and the internet and Reddit and Twitter were going crazy because they're like, she's one tapping, she's overpowered. And I'm like, I don't really think she is. I was like, let's give it a moment here. I said the reason Overwatch and Widowmaker was overpowered is because they didn't have enough characters in the game. So she was OP, but there was very little of characters to defend against what she was doing at the time, right? In this game, there's 33 characters, and she's not a one-tap, okay? And there is the rock to paper to scissors equivalence in this game because there's so many other characters.
Soft counters and hard counters.
Correct, right? So what I thought was funny, one of the people had said that it was overpowered, and it's over, it's a big mistake, it's a one-tap. The next day, Shroud played her on live stream, and we watched it, and it wasn't a one-tap. And then the same person that said it was a one-tap made another video saying, well, it's bad that she's not a one-tap. Now, let me understand this. The day before, it was bad because she was a one-tap, and then they find out that she's not a one-tap, and it's bad because she doesn't have a one-tap. And I'm like, make it make sense for me, Sarge. Make it make sense to me because that doesn't make any sense. You're complaining that she was one-shotting people, and now you're complaining that she can't one-shot people.
Well, because once again, the vocal minority is the one screaming into the microphone. So if you're going to listen to everything that anybody ever says, it'll never end. It never ends, right? Somebody's going to be OP, right? That's okay because there can only be one per team. And you know what the greatest part about it is? Someone will figure out the hard counter for that guy. And just like other first-person shooter games or third-person shooter games, if someone comes in and starts running the show, somebody picks the counter.
Right. You got to find
and
the
you
counter.
you just find the counter and go. That's just how it works. You don't have to destroy the entire ecosystem of the game because somebody's crying because someone thinks there's a one tap. Right? I'll tell you what. If after 3 months there's still a character running around one tapping people and nobody's found the solution for it, then
do something.
Then we can talk. All right. Until then, let gamers game. Let them figure it out. I'm sure someone's going to say Jeff the Shark's OP and just run amok on people until they figure out a way to stop Jeff the Shark. So I'm sure it will happen, right? But let the game be the game.
Right.
Don't fucking do that shit.
So here's the thing that Miller Ross posted. The Marvel Rivals Discord had a Ask Me Anything live stream recap, or had a live stream yesterday, and he put a whole recap. So I'm going to read it from this. This is questions that they got answers to. It says, here to answer questions, Danny Koo, executive producer, okay, the director, the creative manager, the senior art director, the creative director, the lead combat designer. They were all there asking questions. So they talked about art style largely driven by Dino Ma's vision. Okay, new season every 13 weeks. Okay, so every 13 weeks, there's so 3 months and 1 week in between seasons. Okay, it says further confirmation of heroes. Okay, of heroes, specifically plural, coming each season. Okay, Steam Deck support confirmed for launch with some minor cutscenes, glitches that are actively being resolved in collaboration with Valve. Okay, so it doesn't wreck the game. It's just that if cutscenes happen, you're gonna get a black screen, not the actual cutscenes happening, but it doesn't affect the game at all. Okay. Every character has a team-up ability, and future characters will not launch without a team-up ability. This is essential to the game's design.
Team up with who, though?
So, for instance, there's an ability that Hulk can throw, Wolverine, and I forget. You know what? I made some here.
Does anyone know the couples matchup?
Yeah, they tell you. No, they tell you. So if you pick a character, it tells you who the matchup is for it. Let me find.
See, but even for me, I think that's too much. I think let the people play and figure it out would be better. Let them play.
I mean, they do, but they tell you. So there's a couple of different team up maneuvers, right? There's 10 in total of different characters. So there's symbiote bond, there's gamma charge, there's ammo overload, there's dimensional shortcuts, there's guardian reveal, there's planet X pals, there's chilling charisma, Ragnarok rebirth, and then volcanic union. So or a voltic union. So different characters team up, like Loki and Hela can team up, and Thor can team up, Luna and Jeff the Shark can team up, and Namor can team up, Rocket Raccoon and Groot, right? There's like these little matches. So what happens here, so they were talking about how people said teams could be unbalanced, and they said that there's less than 1% of unbalanced teams because of the team-up maneuvers that they decided to put into the game. All right, so it says the team is also committed to implementing cross-progression, but this will also not be ready at launch. So they are putting cross-progression down the road, okay? It says the pick rate, win rate, and other statistics coming to the website in the near future. It says no plans to implement a public API, but it's not off the table completely. It's not something as the community really wants, okay? The community is encouraging to keep giving feedback, although the available channels of official Discord, in-game, etc. The feedback portal of the official website will also implement the near future. It says hero mastery systems confirmed. Players can earn a new HUD icon for each character they customize to the KO streak effect. Okay. It says Winter Festival, an event confirmed for Season 0. Keep an eye on that for the upcoming announcement. It says rank confirmed for Season 0, which is now. Okay. Player rank will also decay 2 tiers between seasons. Okay. It says in addition to in-game reporting, player reporting bot going live on Discord within the week of help facilitate player reports of cheating, AKF or AFK, etc. It says having a large amount of duelists helps facilitate the diversity of the playstyle between teams. It says more vanguards and strategists coming. Season 1 name drops specifically. It says each season the in-game gallery will feature a new magazine that characters can unlock, which tells the season lore outside of the character stories. So I opened up the game earlier, Sarge, and it has Dr. Doom on the cover of the magazine. And then when you open up the magazine, it's got 4 pages, but it's got cells like comic cells within the thing. I think this is awesome. Okay, and so as you unlock certain things, it'll put
Let it be a comic book.
Yeah, it'll put the cell in the comic book, and then it finishes the comic book for you. So it gives a little bit of lore storytelling and whatnot, right? So I think that's pretty cool. It says, let's see. It says each season the in-game gallery will feature. I already got that one. Season Zero's magazine's Doom Rise features 7 cards that will tell the game's backstory and starts with the origins of live stream entanglements and 2 Dooms. Okay. It says in addition to this, the ongoing lore will be told through the in-game cutscenes and incidental dialogue between characters. Okay, which I think is cool because then it helps you. If you care about that type of stuff, the more characters you use, you would get the other side of the conversation to get like the whole story type of thing. And this is what I was saying they should do type of stuff. I was like, do something in the game, like every so often, to level up like they did in Ghostbusters, like they did for Exoprimal and whatnot. It says no set schedule for balance patches at this time. It says Marvel Rivals Champion Tournament confirmed for Season 0. The team is hoping to continue fostering a competitive side of the community, and they're eager to see how it grows and hopefully one day develop into an esports sense. Now, maybe. I brought this up earlier. I said I hope they don't go that route, because if they do, I'm just putting a suggestion out there, okay? If you keep it fun and casual, right, even though it's sweaty, right, that's fine for this. But for tournament, you would have to fine-tune the balancing of the stuff, which then can fuck up the game, right? Because if you're nerfing, someone all of a sudden starts to use it, you're learning the character, it's like 3 months in, next season, all of a sudden they nerf a character really big time, and then nobody uses it again, right? Like, you can have those type of issues.
Not necessarily. They can always do the method they did for League of Legends, where the team gets to vote, and you can vote for them not to use somebody. And they vote that thing, and both teams get to vote.
Sure.
Right? You could do that and not have to worry about balance issues if you really want it to happen. You know what I mean? I don't think, once again, it should not be forced to try to make it an esport.
Right. Just let the game be the game.
Let the game
grow. Yeah, let the game grow.
Stop trying to make it Helldivers. Leave it alone.
It says new big bads tease beyond the 2 Dooms as ongoing narrative twists and turns. A gifting system is coming eventually. That seems like it's a little farther down the road. It says no plans for role, queue, or belief is that the defeats a lot of the core design principles of the game. It says under 1% of matches to date featured imbalanced teams and composition. So apparently it's working out well for the balancing. It says no anti-heroes only, restriction on villains coming to the character roster. It says uniqueness is also an important element for the character's selection. Similar characters are unlikely, and the value is premier skins that lay these characters over the top existing ones. Example, given that Beta Ray Bill over Thor is questioned when compared to applying the same workaround or workload to a different task. It says other sets to similar characters, examples given, Agatha and Wanda, Peter Parker and Miles Morales, will never be considered for such a scenario as they are just too different. Okay. It says the team is also aware of potential server issues day one. The entire team are on standby at launch to quickly resolve any emergencies that have been working tirelessly to prevent this scenario. So far, let me see. Let's check in. What they at? They're at 432,000 people. So it looks like their servers are working fine right now. It says a mysterious tease for something will be coming in 1 hour before, which was just they showed it. It was just a teaser for the actual story trailer, I guess, for the game. There's already people breaking down the trailer. They showed some Fantastic Four logo in the thing, so we know Fantastic Four characters are probably coming down the line. The list just keeps growing, Sarge. I tuned into Miller Ross, who was on the show earlier in the year talking about Suicide Squad, who's a data miner and whatnot, and he kind of suggested, he said, there's a list out there that he's seen, that he has, and he knows who's behind the scenes, that he hasn't given them out yet. He says there's a list out there that people know, and he says there's some people picking up different names that are not on those lists, and he says it's pretty, because he's like the one guy that knows like a lot of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes because of the data mining, right? And he says there's a lot of characters that people have already called out that are coming. He just doesn't want to tell who they are. So people talk about like, Gambit or, Juggernaut or Johnny Storm and Blade.
How many people want to actually be the heroes they grew up watching?
Yeah.
It's funny how that works, right?
And I think the good part about this is that they are dropping multiple characters each season. It's not just
you
the
mentioned
one.
it, and I agree what you said. I didn't understand what you were saying at first, but I understood after you did the whole spiel. If you release one or two characters and they're new, a bunch of people want to
Everyone's gonna use them.
and everyone wants to use them. Whereas if you drop 6 characters, then everybody on the team can pick a new character. They might not get the one they want, but at least it'll be a new character.
Well, that and just more characters have more people, because if you put 2 new characters in, everyone's going to want to use them, but then 4 people on each team is not going to be able to use them, and they're going to be like, kind of, and it changes the whole dynamic
what's the timing on the match? Is it timed?
I'm not sure. Yeah, there's a timer on certain things. Then there's ones that are.
Well, how long is a match?
I don't know that answer. Chat.
How long is the match?
If you're playing the game right now, how long are the matches for?
They're all playing. There's no chat going on. They're all playing.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, how long are the matches? Yeah,
half an hour. Is that about right?
No, it's not that long. Well,
No?
I guess they could be. They're pretty fast. So I would say about 10 to 15 minutes. I would say.
Oh, that's really quick. So you could be like 3-4 games an hour.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
It all depends on what it is, right? So another thing that they're doing really well is that for this, they've taken the approach for the microtransactions. Okay, they've taken the approach of the microtransactions of like Halo and even Marvel's Avengers and other games, that there is no Helldivers. There is no FOMO in the game. Okay, all the characters are free. All the maps are free. They're giving you the game for free, but they are charging a hefty price for a lot of microtransactions in the game. But it's not just the skin. It's 5 things. It's like the emblem. It's the cutscene. Or the entry or the MVP thing. It's a bunch. It's like 4 or 5 different things. Look, the amount of detail and the way the art style is, they've did a bang up job with some of these characters, man. I mean, all the characters look great. But Marvel Rivals reveals that big monetization features. Okay, Marvel Rivals has revealed that players will be able to redeem Battle Pass rewards even after the end of the season. So there's no FOMO. So if you buy the Battle Pass, right?
Time.
You have the whole year. You have the life of the game, whatever it is, right? You don't have to worry about it. It says, after much waiting, Marvel Rivals launch is finally near. On December 6th, the players will be also able to check out the NetEase title, which is unlike any other games such as Marvel Snap and Marvel Future Fight. Pits heroes and villains off 6v6 matches, third-person shooter. It says that players who buy the Marvel Rivals Battle Pass will be able to continue claiming rewards even after the season comes to an end. On the official website, the developers revealed that those who are buy the luxury Battle Pass, which is 2, there's a free-to-play and a luxury. Free-to-play, obviously, if you're just doing the free-to-play, that will end and you won't be able to do it. But if you purchase the luxury, you'll be able to keep it going, which I think is a smart move there. Also available as sequential seasons. The pass will also have a variety of cosmetics, including 5 Marvel Rival skins for players to unlock, which is nice, right? $10. Season 0 is $5 because it's a smaller season, because it was there in the beta, so they're bringing it back for season 0. Season 1, when it comes out, will be $10. So first one's 5. After that, it's 10. You also be able to earn the currency in the game. So like right now, people are freaking out because Wolverine is in the game and his skin looks badass. It's $18, I believe it is, just for the skin or for the package, for the bundle. But you can earn that currency by doing missions and playing games and winning and doing a bunch of stuff in the Battle Pass. So you can earn enough. Now, I don't know if it's enough to earn a skin. It might be earn enough to get something else. But you can earn the credits in the game to use in the season as well. It says another important piece of the information: the price of Marvel Rivals Battle Pass, which is Season 0, will cost 490 lates. I don't know how you pronounce the laces, or $5, and it'll also be a special price due to the season's shorter duration, while the full price is expected to be cost of $10. Players who stay on the free-to-play pass will not be able to benefit without benefits, unlike an epic tier skin or other items that have not been revealed. To the level up, players will also have to claim a churro token and the XP of the Battle Pass obtained through events and tasks. Now, the blog post emphasizes once again that Marvel Rivals will be completely free to play, and the only other form of monetization is the cosmetics. So there is no pay-to-win elements or extra stats for the game. So
I'm just curious, why wouldn't you just charge $20 for the game? Like, why do you make it free to play? Why wouldn't you just charge $20 for the game?
Well, are they still charging microtransactions for the cosmetics?
No, I can't have the discussion and this discussion at the same time. You know how I feel about microtransactions.
No, I got you
completely. But what I'm saying is, you release a game, the game's the game, right? I understand the skins might be expensive, but why don't you just charge $20 for the game to at least get some money up front? Like it's a game, right?
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't understand what you're saying.
Or is it they're thinking that the battle pass is them buying the game because you're gonna have to get the battle pass, right?
I think if you look at it this way, Sarge, the game is free to play, and a lot of people won't pay anything. But if it's free, I look at it as minimum $15, right? Minimum $15 because you're gonna get a battle pass. You're going to either buy the battle pass after the fact when you complete it. You're either going to get one skin of your favorite character. So let's say you are just a Magneto fan, Sarge, and you're like, man, I want that badass Magneto skin, right? $18, right? Or you like Storm, $18. So you look at it and say, if people are paying $20 for the game, but they give it to free, basically you're going to make $18 real fast off the people that are Marvel fans. And according to the chart here, Sarge, it's gone up again. It's 436,000 people playing on just Steam alone. I think it's a better choice. Goodwill, basically, right? We're giving you this game for free. Look at the quality of the game. Look how fun it is. Look at the graphics. Look at the gameplay, right? Like, it's a free-to-play game, so do you think $18 is worth this skin? That's for people to decide. I think the Battle Pass is worth it for $10, right? Especially, and Waterbear asked me this in the stream earlier. He says, because the Battle Pass never expires, would you buy the Battle Pass? Because I never buy Battle Passes if I don't know I have time to play the Battle Pass, right? I wait till I complete it, and then I pick it up. With this, because it never ends, that's $10. If I buy all 4 for those seasons, that's $40 for the year.
In my defense, though, my brain's not wired that way. I would never pay $26 for a skin. Right.
Correct.
Even though even though the game is free.
Right, but I would pay.
But the way my brain works is, you made a product, it's okay to charge for the product, right?
Correct.
It just seems, the mentality for me seems heavy-handed in not asking the money for the game and thinking that people are going to pay multiple skins, hundreds of thousands of dollars in the long run because you want the skin. Over time, you're not going to realize that you're paying $26 a pop for a skin over time and not realize it.
I think people will buy $100 worth of stuff right off the bat. I think this game is going to make a crap ton of money.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's going to make a crap ton of money because it looks good. Now imagine this, Sarge. Imagine this game didn't have the visuals that it has, and it looked like Marvel's Avengers. No bueno.
Not a free game with skins, $26 now.
Correct. With those graphics and the realistic version of them, no. You put comic book version of these characters, and you live in that power fantasy, and you're looking at these characters, and they're fucking amazing. You're going to make the money off of that because they look badass, right?
Listen, I know Salty that they're conditioned to buy skins, but $26 skins?
Yeah, I mean, you're not just buying the skin, though. There's 5 things. It's a bundle. At least that's what they said yesterday.
I get it.
Yeah. So
the conditioning is real. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's if the option's there and it's a free to play game, they're giving you're going to get hundreds of hours in it if you're a fan. And then if you pass that 60-hour mark, is it worth $60? So is it worth 3 skins? Is it worth?
I'm not trying to be negative.
No, I know.
I'm sure out of the gate the game's going to do well. You're going to keep people interested because you're going to keep releasing new characters. My concern is just like everything else that's happened over the last 5 years. Most of these games need you to stay inside them for long periods of time. Mm-hmm. We're about to have a long list of games start to come out in December, January, February, March. Like, the games are going to start pumping out, right? And so people's time will be divided. Yes, you'll play a couple matches of rivals, but you're going to be playing these other games. You're going to get pulled to these other games. And so the longevity of this game, right? I don't know if after all the games that we know are coming out next year, okay, and the time vested needed for those games coming out next year, that this game is going to maintain a solid high number for more than a year.
I don't think it needs to maintain these numbers. I don't think it needs to maintain the 400,000.
I don't think so either. So what I'm saying is, out of the cannon right away, buy a bunch of skins, everyone plays it, you try to squeeze in as much as you can, and then you're going to get started. Your time's going to start getting divided.
Well, this is the way I look at it, right? So right now, everyone's math dashing. They love the game. They're super hype. Everyone right now.
I'm reading chat.
Everyone right now is paying for the game for the year, basically.
Yes.
They're dropping $100. They're buying the skins. Okay, now, just like a regular game at launch, if you paid for a game that was $60 or $70, right, for a normal game, you don't pay for anything else after that, right? Like Black Myth Wukong, people bought the game and that's it, right? Now they can play it 10 years from now. They can play it 5 months from now. They just keep playing.
Right.
What this game does now is everyone's massively buying skins and stuff like that. 13 weeks from now, all of a sudden they put 6 new characters in. All of a sudden they put your favorite character in, Sarge. They put someone else's favorite character in. And now you have I had fun with these characters.
New skins. New guys, new skins.
New guys, new skins. And so every 13 weeks, you're getting that refresh of, ooh, look at the pretty thing, right? And you come back and you're either spending the money that you already purchased, or now you're buying another $50 worth of stuff to go spend on skins of the character that you want because you want to look badass, right? And I think this game's minimum 2 years, and I think this is a long haul one. I really do. I think this is the Marvel game that people have been waiting for.
I hope you are correct.
Here's another thing. We got 2 games coming out back to back. We got this game, and we have Path of Exile 2. Now, Path of Exile 2 is not free right now because it's early access, so you have to pay $30, right? Or if you buy the Founders Pack, which you get skins. So basically, you're buying skins to get access to the game, okay? You're paying $100, you're paying whatever, $400, whatever it is, okay? You get to play it. So now you have these 2 games that are coming out. One of these games, Sarge, I think will find its way into the 6 games, 8 games, 10 games that everyone's playing over the time being, right? Everyone's playing like Fortnite. Everyone's going back to Minecraft. Everyone's going back to Call of Duty. Everyone's going back to Roadblock, whatever they're doing. I think one of these 2 games will make it into that bracket where people just keep coming back and playing this game because it's just fun, right? And they're both free to play. They're not $60, $70 games. They're not $100, $120 games. They're free to play with the option to support Path of Exile developers ahead of time with early access. But when the game comes out next year, 6 months to a year from now, it's going to be free to play, right? Rivals is free to play right now. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. It'll be very interesting to see what happens in the long run, but I do think it has legs. I do. I think this has legs. Where Overwatch had legs because it was something new.
6 foot tall, blonde, and stripper heels. It's got legs. Listen,
yeah,
I'm giving it to you. All I'm saying is that the environment of gaming right now and the amount of time that they want you to spend inside their games is a lot more severe than before. You had a bunch of games that had expiration date on it. You played for 30 hours, the game's done. You play 20 hours, the game's done. It's a notch in your bedpost. It's a book on the bookshelf. Like you've done it and you moved on. A lot of these games is you got to come on back. And you know the list of games that are coming out for next year. You know what's happening.
Yep. This game only needs people to buy 3 skins each, and that's a full price game.
I get it.
1 battle pass, 2 skins.
But how many people are buying 3 skins? Is it enough to make that game if it had released at a full price game?
If you buy the battle pass, $10, you get 5 skins, right?
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So, all right, let's move on from that to let's see. Warhorse says Kingdom Come Deliverance. Let me bring this up. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 will be coming out. Warhorse says the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 will come out a week early, so you can start 2025 with the best game there is. But I feel like there might be another reason. Okay, I think it's fucking crowded in February, right? I think February.
You think February's crowded?
Yeah, so it says just a couple of months ahead of release, Warhorse Studios has announced that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a new release date. But don't worry, because it's actually going to show up a little earlier than planned. Instead of arriving on February 11th, the big new RPG now set to arrive on February 4th. The reason for this release date change, Warhorse PR manager said, is simple. So you could start 2025 off with the best game there is right now. I think this is actually brilliant.
I don't know if 1 week makes a big difference, bro.
Well, no, here it is. Well, the following week, there's like 7 games coming out.
No, I get it, but what I'm saying
is the first game coming out, right?
Do you really believe that that's a major factor in someone's life? That's the first game out for the new year. You're going to buy it?
I do think they'll get a lot more sales because if you have $60 or $70 in your pocket and there's 10 games coming out in one day, you're competing for what game you're playing and the time that you're spending on.
But you don't have an extra $60 1 week later?
No, don't worry about the $60. It's just the time. It's the $60 and the time, right? If you have $60 burning a hole in your pocket or $70 burning a hole in your pocket, you can now play that game a week before, and they're out in the gate. So you're like, oh damn, this game came out before the rest of them. I'm gonna pay $60 or $70 for this game to play this one first, and then all of a sudden, why compete with the other 8 games when you're the only horse in the race at the very first time? You see what I'm saying?
I get it, but at the same time, it's not that significant of a difference. If I'm waiting for games to come out and it's 1 week different, the money is the money I have for the month, right? If there were 17 games coming out in February,
well, that's if you're a person that only buys one game a month, right?
I'm going with the averages here, bro.
Sure, three, 4 games a year.
3 or 4 games a year. If I got out of those 5 or 10 games that are coming out in February, if 2 of them are on my list, then I've already planned ahead to have the money for those 2 games. So the week difference doesn't mean anything to me.
I mean, I get it, but they're giving themselves the best chance and opportunity to single themselves out of the pack.
You do you, man. It just seems humorous to me that you think 1 week is the deal breaker for a game to sink or swim.
No, I don't think it's a sink or swim scenario. They just go, look, are we ready? Can we launch it a week early? And they're like, yeah, why not? Why can't we launch it a week early? Why are you going to start
because we can patch it later. It's no big deal. Release a week early.
But if you can have a head start, why wouldn't you get a head start on somebody?
I don't know. Why does everyone pick February when December fails them? Right? Everyone when they can't get it out before Christmas, everyone dog piles on February.
They pick February because it's the last moment before
for the fiscal year.
Fiscal year. Yeah.
But, so what's wrong with January? You don't like January?
They're all coming back from vacation. They don't come back until like the second week of January.
Oh my God.
That's why.
I get it.
They leave like next week and they don't come back until mid-January.
So it's important to release the game because you want to make money, but not that important. I got it.
All right. Next one is we get to use something today, Sarge. We get to use something that we haven't used in quite a bit. I haven't changed it since then, okay, because we were supposed to change it to Concord, okay? But we're talking about X Defiant, which has been concorded, okay?
Yep.
So I talked about this a couple months ago, right, where it was rumored that X Defiant wouldn't finish past season 4, okay? And past season 4. And what happened was Mark Rubin, the guy who is the director of the game, said, it's not true. We're not closing the game down after season 4. Here we are a month and a half later. He's absolutely correct. We're not closing it after season 4. We're closing it after season 3. Okay? It's not even getting to season 4. And it's another Ubisoft debacle where they're closed the studio. Right? 277 people lost their job. This game is not going to finish out. It's done in June of 2025, but it doesn't really matter because it's done today. Because if you tell me this game is done, then why am I going to continue playing it?
I feel bad for that developer who said that. What was it? Was it a community advisor or was it one of the higher ups? I don't think he was told. Like I don't think either. I believe that he was speaking truth because they told him everything was going to be fine. Yep. And then he got the rug pulled out from him because nobody would say something like that close to the moment where you're telling you the game is going to be shut down forever. Like I think that's how messed up it is at Ubisoft right now, that they're not even talking to their upper management about what is happening.
Yeah, I agree because I said that a month and a half ago. I said, look, both things can be true. A leak came out and said that the game's closing down after season 4. Okay, and the same thing could happen where the guy comes out and says that's not true. We're not closing down. Everything's fine because his upper management told him, no, we're not doing that. Right, and then a month and a half later, they're like, yeah, I'm sorry.
We got to cut it.
We got to cut 277 people.
Right.
And the game's done. Right. Ubisoft has massive problems, man. Yeah. Kingard had a video. I didn't get to watch it yet today. Okay.
Is it even a new one? Did I miss it?
He has a brand new one that came out today talking about Ubisoft. I haven't watched it. But reminder, Kingard and Greg Owen will be on this show next week in a special edition of Generation X Gaming, the Game Awards, which starts at 7 o'clock. We'll be starting, and not 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. We'll be starting, and then watching the Game Awards show right here on 30 NSG. So make sure you guys come back next week for that. Yeah, I'm gonna watch. We'll probably watch Kingard's video on Monday. Give it some time to breathe and whatnot. So yeah, X Defiant. We get to use the loud and obnoxious. Hold on, here's another one. I'm sorry, X Defiant. Abe Vigoda's calling, and you've been Vigoda'd.
I thought we were going to use that like officially.
Like Concord?
Like officially dead. Like, you know, it's not coming.
It is. It's officially dead.
But it doesn't die until June.
It's dead. It's just a zombie walking. It's a zombie. It's dead.
But it doesn't die until June.
They're not. But they're not reviving it. It's a dead zombie just walking. No one's gonna care about what's happening in that season. People like what is your motivation to play that game? To finish out the battle pass that you're like
nothing. But see, that's my point right there. Right. The illusion of the game continuing keeps you playing in a battle pass. But if you knew the game was on, the game wasn't going to be there, then you don't do the battle pass anymore because you never gave a shit about the game anyway. Your belief system about what may be down the road as opposed to what game I'm playing right now keeps me playing the game. No, man. I play the game for the game that I have now, not for the game you're promising me a month or two from now.
Right.
That's what bothers me, right? So the game's dead, but you're going to still keep going until June? Why? What's the point?
Because they otherwise people.
If you're getting full
lawsuits, I have no idea.
According to the PSA, you're getting a full refund anyway. You're getting refunded.
Right. That's true.
So then what?
But why play it though? Why am I playing?
Why is it there?
Yeah. Next story I want to talk about is New World. You like New World? We both played New World. We played the beta when it came out. I enjoyed it.
I told you how I feel about all these games, bro.
Okay, right? New World.
They're all interesting, but once again, what keeps me there?
Well, maybe this will keep you there, Sarge. They're thinking about putting a battle royale in it. That doesn't sell you, Sarge? The battle royale mode doesn't sell you. Capture the flag mode doesn't help you sell that.
I'll tell you what. If you put the battle royale, right, and zombies, we could talk. Because if you don't have battle royale and zombies, I don't even know why we're talking.
I mean, it says Amazon Games plans to add battle royale and capture the flag modes to New World. Okay, the developer is also prototyping various game modes to improving end game progression. They're going to be adding new weapons, raids, zones, and features like ranked PvP are also in early development. This game is doing very well, right? It's doing well for Amazon. But I said this on my stream earlier this week. I was like, I don't know if a battle royale is a good thing to put into a MMO, right? I get it. It's good for Fortnite. It's good for other games that do battle royale and battle royales. That's what they're right. But this game is an MMO, large-scale MMO, resource gathering, territory control, right? Like story-based stuff. Do you think this would harm the game more than help the game if they did a battle royale mode?
All right, I'll try to be as neutral as possible. Amazon threw their hat in the ring. They have a lot of money behind them. They decided to do research on the last grouping of games that did really well in the market over the last 10 years. They put a studio together. They did a good job in coming out with a game that fits into the shell that what they were looking for. However, it's not going to bring them the windfall of money that they think it's going to bring them. So they're just going down the list and doing check boxes, right? This is the number they have. And then they go, hey, why don't you throw BR in there? Let's see which way the number goes.
Right.
So they're going to put BR in there. Then once that happens, they're going to try the next checkbox and do the next thing and see if the numbers get adjusted. What they're going to figure out is they're only going to get a certain number, and it's not the number they want, right? Yeah. That's going to be the issue. Why? Because how many games are trying to vie for your attention?
Right. Well, here's the thing. Krebsy says more entry
It's a good
points.
game.
More entry points get people to come to BR than have subs for MMO. Well, there's no sub for the MMO. It's a non-sub MMO. Okay, so they're not getting subs for that. They can get the stash, more stash or whatever. But I think it does more harm than good because it's not a battle royale. People are not playing this game for battle royale. And if you are playing a battle royale, like pick a game that's a battle royale right now. You're playing that game right now. All of a sudden, you're playing Fortnite, you're playing Apex Legends, you're playing whatever other game is out there, and all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I'm going to leave this game that I've been playing nonstop, where I have tens of hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in skins in, so I can go over there to play a brand new battle royale to put my time in over there. I don't think it does. I don't think it happens.
But that's my point. That's my point. They can't see the market of them making a game, somebody playing 25 hours, and they're done. They can't.
Yeah.
Right? What they see is we've got to encapsulate a large population, hold them for 18 months to 2 years, and be able to siphon the money out of them as much as possible, and go against the other 17 games that are doing the exact same thing. Their greed is their downfall, right? They have money to burn. I'm happy to see people get jobs in the gaming industry, and they did make a good game. The idea is, what is your holding power for people in this game as opposed to every other game?
Right.
Right? And if you're doing the exact same thing as every other game, which they are because they're checking boxes literally.
Right. Oh, well, this game's got capture the flag. Let's put capture the flag. Oh, this game's got battle royale. Let's put battle royale.
Well, then I have a homework assignment, right? And I don't know about you, but when I went to school and in college, I had a lot of homework. And so now, how many classes of homework do I have, right? If I really like this game, and I really like Rivals, and I really like Pillars of Path of Exile, if I really like these games, I'm going to be playing them. How much time am I playing them?
Well, here's my next question, right? Let's just say the battle royale takes off. Okay, that's also harm for the game because it's an MMO, right? But now the battle royale is more popular than the MMO. So then what happens to the MMO? Do you support both? Because if the battle royale is doing well and the MMO is falling off because people are playing the battle royale, because let's just say it's a good battle royale, then what? Now the thing that you made is not even what it was before.
Well, in terms of the game approaching junkyard status, if you build the game up to be here and you realize that you can't maintain this, and now you start putting carnival games in there to make people come in there, and now people are playing the carnival game more than they're playing the actual game, then you start selling skins inside the carnival game in order to try to offset the people not spending money in the actual game. But once again, they're not in the game for that long. You might be playing a couple matches, maybe 45 minutes to an hour, maybe 2 hours if you really love the game. But meanwhile, here is the other list of the 8 games coming out that I need to do homework on. The mentality of these AAA companies thinking that they're going to have a game that encapsulates them better than somebody else doing the same exact thing. Hold you down, skins, battle pass. You can only have so many people to play it.
Right.
And there's only so much time to play a game. The answer is in front of you, right? In the old days, it was just an MMO and that was it, right? If you took the time to make an MMO, you had to be fucking serious about it because MMOs are sucking up people's lives, right? We got people who don't feed their kids. Right? That's how much they play an MMO, okay? So in that kind of atmosphere, how do you make 37 games the same and think that you're going to make a better dent than when there was only 7?
Well, here Krebsy brings up a point. He says, why does Fortnite have Lego? It has because multiple entry points leads to more potential consumers. Well, here's the thing. Fortnite came out as a survival game, a tower defense game, and they abandoned that 3 months in, and it was a battle royale. And then they saw that people were leaving Battle Royale at a certain point, so they started putting other things in the Battle Royale. Okay, this is why they brought in the racing. This is why they brought in the music thing. This is why they brought in Legos. This is why they're making a thing for Disney, right? So I think what you're saying, I think, is a good point, Krebsy. So it's different entry points, but Fortnite didn't have a thing. This is literally an MMO, right? That's what this game is. That's the feature of the game, and now they're going to convert. if people weren't interested in the MMO, but they're now interested in the battle royale in this MMO, that seems very weird to me because again, where do they go from here if it's successful? They can't run both. They can't run both. They were on death's door with this game, and they didn't know what they were going to do. And they're like, "Well, let's make expansion packs for it." So, and they brought people in, and they revived it because they had a huge drop off. Let me see if I can bring up the charts real fast. Let me bring up the charts. So I don't know. I think Krebsy brings up good points, but I just don't see it working for New World.
I don't disagree with him, but the point is that you put in different. All right? Do you guys not understand that the people on the level that we're talking about don't give a shit about the game itself? All they know from their psychological guys that are working inside the company is if I get someone to play the game for 45 minutes a day, they spend $10. That's how they're looking at the game now, guys. It's not about if the game is good, bad, or whatever. They're saying that if X number of people play for 45 minutes, they'll give us $10. So they have to find a way to get you to play for an hour and a half or 2.5 hours or 3 hours in order to get that money out of you. And that's what they go for. It's a time sink proposition. It's got nothing to do with the quality of the game. That's not what they're selling. They're sitting in the room doing numbers, guys. That's what's going on right now. Otherwise, you wouldn't have 37 games doing the exact same shit.
This is exactly why they're trying to do what they're doing. They can't get the player base to come play their MMO because look at the drop-off. This is from September 27th, 2021. 913,000 people played it, okay? Here is November of 2021, 145,000. Here's the beginning of the year, January 31st, 2022, 67,000 people. Here we are right now. Okay, here's where the expansion came out right here. Okay, right,
there are
61,000
games.
There's 18,000 people here, right? And this is my problem with what they're doing. They're chasing because they don't know what it is. It's like Ubisoft saying, "I don't know where our customers went. I don't know where they are. How do we get them back?" They're like, "Well, what about if we put a battle royale in here? That battle royales just seem pretty good."
The balls on these executives thinking that if they do a copy pasta and check the boxes, that you are going to have people sit around in your game giving you money is a fucking mistake. It's been a mistake for the last 5 years. Look at the charts, right? There are other fucking games.
Well, here's another thing.
People don't sit and set up shop and just live inside the fucking game.
New World is also a paid game, and Fortnite's a free-to-play game. Other battle royales are free to play. You don't have to pay anything to play those battle royales, but this particular game you have to pay to get into the battle royale mode, or is it going to be free to play? And if it's free to play, then right, I'm just confused by what they're doing, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
You mean to tell me that you think it's better to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on a long play game in a market full of long play games rather than making a finite game that I buy, play for 30 hours, and put it down and move on with my life? That's their mission in their head, bro. They can't do it. They are so locked in on the amount of money that you can make it with a live service game that they can't possibly fathom just making a game and selling a game and moving on. And let me ask you a question. Bring back up that chart again. Bring it up again. Bring that chart up again.
Right? Oh, I closed it down. It down.
Bring that chart up again. Right? I want to know the time frame between that drop right there. I told you. Is it
2 months.
6 months? 6 months?
2 months.
Right. 2 months is around the exact amount of time any normal person who buys a game probably finishes the game if they play a few hours a night or a few hours a week until they finish the damn game. Right? So that drop off is, I played your game. I'm done playing your game. Why am I staying in your game? Well, there's homework assignments through all of this, right? There's homework assignments through all of this. Well, I have other games I want to play, right? I didn't sign up to work for you. I just wanted to play a game. So that drop off right there is the exact thing it should be for someone that buys a game and finishes it. and moves the fuck on to the next game. Now, if you bring up somebody else's game when it came out, I bet you it coincides with the drop off of this one. It goes right in with another one.
Look, they had 913,000 people played their game.
Brand new MMO by a new company.
Do I understand that?
They wanted to see what they could do. It's
most
Amazon.
Most games get like 100 and then drop down to like 30. So that cliff is not as steep. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Amazon has the money. They have the funds to make a game that's decent. Did they make a game that's decent? Yes. Is the game fun? Yes. Do the graphics look good? Yes. But what environment am I in? I'm in the same environment I was before you released it. How much time do you want me to spend in your game? Well, funny you should ask.
Well, actually,
our charts show that if a player stays inside our game for 45 minutes, he'll give us exactly $10.87. So we need to keep people in game for 3.5 hours in order to make that's not the way you fucking play a game.
Right.
That's not the way you play a fucking game. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm looking at the stats for every game that's come out, and they all do the same shit. Well, they came out, people loved it, and then everyone said, go fuck yourself. They didn't say go fuck yourself. Do you understand how many games are coming out? I can't, look, the 30-plus people that are in this chat right now, I can't shoehorn those 30 people and try to figure out what games they play all the time when they're not listening to us, what games they actually play. Somehow, the AAA gaming industry says, well, there's 128 million people that played this RPG, so that's our market for RPG. I'm like, that's not how that works.
Right.
You're trying to capture people that aren't there because they're on to a different game, right? Some days I want to play RPGs. Some days I don't want to look at an RPG. Other days I want to play a first-person shooter.
Right.
You're trying to capture our market that's not there. Then they wander around with their dick in their hand. They go, I don't know where they are. I don't know where anybody is. They're playing games, right? There's 10,000 games every 3 months. They're playing fucking games. They're gamers, right? They just don't want to play your game for 37 hours.
Right. Well, it's really hard. And then people are, with that report that we did a couple of months ago, talking about, 6 games? Was it 6 or 7 games that everyone's playing? They keep going back to Minecraft.
Chasing.
They keep going back to Fortnite. They keep going back to
chasing.
Yeah. All right. The next one I want to talk about, not so much about, okay, so the stuff that's happening with Avowed right now, okay? I don't want to talk about the woke stuff, but what I want to talk about is that the guy who basically just doesn't want to stop talking, and he's hurting the game before the game even comes out, right? So before this even happened, they showed Avowed, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and was like, hey, this is what Avowed is, okay? And it looked actually pretty good. People were like, oh, wow, this looks better than it did 6 months ago when they showed it, okay? And then the art director come out because I think Grums posted something and said there's he, him inside the game, and then Elon Musk responded and said that shouldn't be inside the game, and then the art director for Obsidian, for Avowed, went off, right, and hasn't stopped talking, right, to this point. And so Avowed art director Matt Hansen says amidst that waiting to make Elon Musk mad and hints game is ultra woke. Okay, I don't understand. Make a game, sell a game, right? You could have just stayed quiet. Okay, if it is woke or not woke, whatever, you could have just stayed quiet, right? Game could have came out, but he's going off and he's not making it better, right? He just keeps saying dumb things and racist things, and just there's a whole bunch of stuff happening where now there might be lawsuits happening because he keeps opening his mouth. My question to you, Sarge, is why do you think they have to just keep inserting foot in mouth instead of just letting the product talk for itself?
Well, that's the number one thing right there, bro. If you let the game speak for itself, it doesn't matter. If you can't let the game speak for itself because you are so intent on defending it from criticism, right? That makes you insecure and a narcissist, and you have a broken ego. Let the people say whatever they want. The game will speak for itself, right? What you are doing is damaging the financial outcome
of
for your own
yeah.
game,
yeah.
right? You know there are trolls. You know people are going to say shit, right? This goes back to the thing we talked about months ago, and I'm going to be very clear about it once again. Before, journalists controlled the narrative. They controlled it 1,000%. There are no windows, no cracks, no doors, no nothing. What a magazine told you, what a news company told you, what a journalistic gaming site told you, right? They controlled it. When people started being able to get their own shows, their own podcasts, and have a following of people who are listening to someone else beside the guys locked in a room discussing what you should believe or were not to believe, right? Once the narrative broke down, this is what you get. This is the outcome when you don't have the entire apparatus behind you siding with you the entire time. When you have independent people saying what's on their minds, and because you have a following, now it's a fucking problem. Well, we can't sell our game in this kind of an environment. Well, wait a minute. Are you telling me that you didn't believe in the game at all? You had to believe in what we told them to believe in order for you to sell the game? Was that the whole game all along?
Right.
Because if that's it, then welcome to the new world, right? Your product is now what's on the stage. Not the journalists telling the people what to buy. People who are gamers going out and playing the game and telling people this is cool, this is not, you should buy it, you should not. Other people are talking now. I guess maybe, just maybe, you should make a good product, sit the fuck down, have a scotch and a cigarette, and wait to see the outcome. Like everybody else has fucking done since the beginning of gaming. You don't know how good the game's going to do until you see people play the game, right? Otherwise, you would have thousands of people doing game tests for you all the time. That's why people do betas. That's why they do alphas, because they want to see people's reactions to the game. You are not helping.
Yeah.
Go seek help. Your ego is too fragile. You are a narcissist, and you are hurting your own company.
Yeah.
Just sit down and let the game come out and let people play it.
Yeah, let the game. That's why we always say make a game, sell a game. Make the game, do all the things that you want to put in the game, whatever that is. We watched a video yesterday of Lauren Fry talking about put the game out there, whatever you want to put in it, put it in there, put it out there, and see if it does it. Sometimes it does well, sometimes it doesn't. But to open your mouth up and just keep saying stuff, right? Again, regardless of what you believe or not, the game needs to sit there for itself. This one person is ruining all the hundreds, if not thousands, of people that worked on this game and just driving it into the ground for his personal morale of, which is just
for
it's
him.
Insane. It's right. It's insanity to me. Yeah. And the worst part is about this, I'll be honest, Microsoft hasn't said anything.
They shouldn't say anything.
Well, I don't know, because
let this guy hang himself.
Well, then they need to fire him, right?
Well, there's too many golden parachutes, bro. Too many protective clauses.
If they don't,
too many deals in the back room.
Well, if they don't
wait.
If they don't say anything, then you can assume that they believe the same thing.
No, that's not true. That's not true. What somebody says individually does not represent the actions or
I agree.
Of the company as a whole.
But it's also public opinion. Right?
They will let him talk himself off a cliff. And then when everybody forgets about this game, he'll be handed his walking papers. It happens all the time.
That's true.
Right? You do not add fire. This guy is walking around with a fucking flamethrower. You want Microsoft to open up their fucking mouth? No.
Yep. No, you're right.
Stay
You're right.
quiet and let him fucking go.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, they're staying quiet, which is the smarter thing to do.
Like, has this shit happened in the past, like on this level, bro? Has it happened like this?
It might have happened once a decade. Now it's happening like weekly.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah, now it's happening like weekly. Let's see. What else we got here? We got real quick. We have this one. This is Tencent has a game that's basically just straight up taken from a bunch of different games, right? So we have the Delight of Mortaram. Is that how you pronounce it? I think it's Motaram. So we watched this trailer, and when it first started, I thought it was a Destiny announcement, because you see a ghost talking. It looks like a ghost, and all of a sudden it flies away, and then it opens up to a wide shot, and then all of a sudden you see the dinosaurs, the big animals, the robots, and I'm like, oh, it's a Horizon game.
This shot right here looks like a DLC for Horizon.
Right. Well, 100%, right? Well,
that's what it looks like.
This game is nothing like that. It's more of Pal World than it is a Horizon game, but they blatantly, obviously, took I don't know what you want to say.
Liberties. They took
right,
liberties.
the liberties of what the game is. Now, people are saying it's a 1-to-1, and I said it's not 1-to-1 because we looked at the mammoth and stuff. What the woolly mammoth would be. Obviously, a woolly mammoth is a woolly mammoth, right? That's what they look like. They have tusks, and that's what they look like. But it's robotic, okay? And they did change enough that I saw, right? Like the tusks are bent in a different way. The colors are a little different. The metal panels are a little different.
What's the rule, bro? 3 changes or 4 changes?
It's like 7 or 8, something like that. Yeah.
Yep. 3 or 4 changes, you're good.
I can agree that they borrowed heavily from like Horizon, but at the same time, I don't think what I should say is I think they'll get away with it, right? Because I think there's more, and you brought this up before the show, Sarge. I think there's more with Marvel Rivals to Overwatch than there is with this to Horizon Zero Dawn. And what I mean by that is this is just taking assets from the game, but the game itself is completely different, where Marvel Rivals is basically Overwatch in third person, and they basically made the exact same game, but with skins of Marvel, right? And the gameplay is super similar to it. So what makes the difference? Why are people upset about this?
Well, don't look at it that way. Look at it from the point of view of a developing team, right? And I'm not trying to sell any development team short, okay? You're looking at the environment around you. You're looking at what's going on. You're looking at the game's releases. You're looking at what problems people have. You're looking at what people like and don't like. Remember, this is all happening during your development cycle, right? You're making a goal, right? We're building up. We have thoughts. We have things, and then we start producing. We start making the levels. We start making the mechanics. We start doing all this stuff. Now we're 2 years into it, and we're looking at the environment around us. Games are dying, being failed, can't.
Right, studios are closing.
Studios are closing down, and you're in fucking panic mode, right? So over time, you're thinking, well, what would keep us afloat? What would make us feel better? So you start copying things that you know from games that did well.
Right, you borrow from all of them.
You borrow from all of them, right? That's what they do, right? Now, maybe in this instance, maybe it's too far. You want to say it's too far? Everybody's got an opinion. It's too far, okay? How do you know it's too far? Well, very simple. You don't care. You just play the game and have fun with it. If the lawyers come out, sue, and win, you know it was too far. Right. If the lawyers come out and try to sue and nothing happens, then it didn't fucking matter. You played a game that you liked, right? So is the fact that the game looks too much like Horizon making you not want to play it? Because if you say that, I'm going to question your judgment, because I'm pretty sure if you liked Horizon, you're pretty much going to try this one if you can.
Well, right. As a consumer, why would you care?
As a consumer, right?
Right. As a consumer, why would you care?
Yeah. That's my point. Now, do I care? We can look at this both ways. Over the time period that we have played video games, bro, and we have played video games since the beginning of fucking video games.
Right.
Okay.
The beginning was a dime a dozen. Every single game that came out was the exact same.
Everybody copied everybody. The difference was it was much cheaper to make a video game. It didn't take as long. Now you got games that are taking 5 years, 6 years, 8 years to make a game. So, yeah, this game probably looks like Horizon. But let me ask you a question: when did Horizon come out?
Like 5 years ago, 2017, 2018, something like that. 6 years ago.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Imagine that someone liked your video game so much that they wanted to base something off of it, but they wouldn't get it out to market till 5 years later.
Ago. Yeah.
Right? So what's the big deal, right? If you like video games and you liked Horizon, maybe this is for you. Right. And I'm pretty sure a bunch of people liked it on PlayStation because a bunch of people bought Horizon on PlayStation, right? So I'm sure you enjoyed it. So maybe, just maybe, these guys were terrified of coming out with a game that would fall flat on their face and they'd be unemployed. So here's your choice. Do you go for the gusto on a team that's not as creative, maybe not as vetted, maybe they're not as good as they think they are, or somebody else valued them lower than they think they are, that they didn't think they could do something totally original, so they decided to borrow assets and visuals from another game that did really well, and you're going to get mad at them for that? I say play the game if you want to play it. If you don't want to play it, that's fine. Let the lawyers decide whether or not you think the game was stolen.
My question is, if Horizon, if they had robotic as they do animals in the game, but it's not a 1-to-1. Would people okay with it, or would they still compare it to Horizon? I think they would still compare it to Horizon.
In the corporate world, they're not going to be going down the lane of 1-to-1. They're going to go down the lane of, did you take direct things from us and use them to sell for your own? That's going to be the argument in court. Not the fact that it looks the same, right? Is, did you steal the assets or did you borrow? Every fucking video game we've ever played took it from somebody else. Everybody, right? The original games that even started out borrowed from movies that we grew up with, or space sci-fi movies that we grew up with. Like, everybody took from somebody else and they tweak it. That's what they do.
I just think if people like if the game comes out and it's good, I don't think anyone cares. I'll be honest. Consumer wise, I don't think anyone cares.
I will wait for the decision about the Pal World and Nintendo case. I will wait to see that, and I'm gonna wait to see if Sony thinks that this game is trying to infringe on them. And
I don't think they are. I think they signed a deal with Sony to be on PlayStation, right? Here's the thing,
if that's the case, then what the fuck are we talking about?
Dupla said there's a 100% lawsuit on Destiny Ghost part. I don't think there will be. I don't think there will be, because they're not using the ghost in the exact same manner. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know anything besides what the trailer showed and some gameplay that we saw. And the ghost, what happens in Destiny can act completely different than what the ghost does. It's even called the ghost.
Here's Sony, bro. Here, I'm Sony, right? Well, we don't have any games coming out right now. It's kind of rough. We're going through a rough patch right now. And we make a deal with another company. They're like, hey, we got this game at it kind of looks like Horizon Zero Dawn. What do you think? Like, yeah, we got nothing going on.
Pal World did really well, right?
We know it's going to do well. Get it out.
Yeah, Pal World did really well. So let's try this one.
Everybody's trying to make money. They're all trying to make money. Sony wants money. The development team wants money, right? So if you can't do something from the pure imagination and go from scratch and think you're going to succeed, take from what you know and sell it. I mean, I don't know how mad can you be for a game that's successful nowadays. I'm looking for a game to be successful. I'm surrounded by nuclear warheads of games coming out with giant smiles on their faces, and Hulk comes over and just smashes him into the ground. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I see, like, obviously this is definitely this. They could sue him for this advertisement to make it look like it's Horizon, but I don't think they can sue him.
It looks like it's a DLC for Horizon.
It does. But I don't think they could sue for what the game is, because the game is nothing like Horizon. Nothing like Horizon. It's nothing like Destiny. It's nothing like Elden Ring. It's borrowed all of these things from these games and mashed them up together and made this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so now what's the answer? We wait and see.
Yeah. No, I think it'll be fine. I really do. I mean, I have a question. As a customer, why do I care if they did steal it or not? I don't.
Is it a good game?
Yeah, is it a good game? That's it. Is it a game that I can spend time in?
By the way, that's your question as a gamer. The other reasons why I don't buy a game is when I find out that they destroyed someone's life personally, and then I don't want to support them. That's usually a better way for me not to buy a game. Otherwise than that,
here's the perfect example.
Enjoy.
If Pal World came out, everyone's like, oh, super clone of Pokemon, right? If it came out and didn't do well, no one would give two shits.
That's correct.
But Pal World did very well, and now Nintendo's like, well, we got to watch our backs, so let's sue them, right? If they didn't do anything, okay, no one would give two shits, right? But now people are defending Pal World. Why? Because they like the game. The game is good. People like the game is good, and they're like, fuck Nintendo. Nintendo's bad what they're trying to do to sue these guys. But here we have, this game is borrowing from this. They stole it directly. Sony should sue them. Fuck these guys. Like, what's the difference? There is no difference, right?
What is the difference?
The difference is that you like this game, but you don't like this game, but you haven't played this game. You don't even know what this game is yet. All right. I just think it's a double standard, and I think that I don't think they're going to sue. I don't feel they're going to sue. And the best part is
Sony allowed them on the platform.
Yeah.
What else do you need to know? What else do you need to know?
Eclipse says this looks a lot better than Horizon to me, but not gonna lie.
I mean, you would think just for a moment, just for a moment, you'd use
Mo comes in. The difference is 30 frames per second.
Right? Maybe, just maybe, they'd have put a male character in there. Just to
But you can create your own character.
Make you think it wasn't.
No, it's you can create your own character. You can create your own character because it's a Power World type of game.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is when I look at this though, it
Oh, yeah.
looks like
No, they could 100% sue them for marketing to make it look like their game. 100%. Okay,
but they won't.
But they could. Okay,
But they won't.
I don't think they'll sue them though for the actual game itself. All right. Let's go to the Q&A. It's like 9, quarter to 10. Okay. Right now, Marvel Rivals is at 444,286 for the
sweet spot's going to be about 10:30, bro, because that means the West Coast people are finally off of work and
they get to play. Yeah,
they get to play.
Yeah.
So about 10:30, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, when people are just getting ready to get off here, that's like your sweet spot for the whole country, and you'll see what the number is.
Dupla says the issue is for 12 years of our lives, we were told that teachers that the projects and reports look too much like another student is considered copying and cheating. Yeah, but that's... I see what you're saying, Duplas.
He's just making the point that we were told that if it looks like this, it's automatic cheating.
Correct.
But this is corporate world, not personal world.
That's right.
That's the difference.
Your morals,
I agree with you, Duplas, 100%.
Your morals and your integrity shouldn't copy and cheat and take someone else's work and make it your own.
But there's money on the line, bro.
But when money comes to the line and businesses are there, everything's out the fucking door, right? And that's completely different. So you are correct, but corporations don't have morals. Corporations don't have integrity.
Have shareholders. They have shareholders.
They don't have integrity.
That's correct. They have shareholders. By the way, before we move on to Q&A, right? I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. I can't remember when it was. But they were doing a re-release of Legacy of Kain. Did I see that right on your stream?
Yeah, they're remastered them. Yeah.
Did I not talk about that? Did I not say that?
Yeah, it was a couple months.
That's what I wanted to see. I would love to see if they remade Legacy of Kain. They're actually doing it.
We brought it up. Yeah, it's coming out. It comes out this week, I think.
Are you serious?
I believe so. Yeah.
Like on PC or only on PlayStation?
Hold on, let me see when it comes out. When does it come out this month?
I can't believe that fucking game's coming out. I can't fucking believe that game's coming out. A remake. Is it a remake or remaster? Is it a remake or remaster?
It's a remaster.
It's a remaster, so they're going to touch it up.
Yeah, I don't see it on this list, but someone in chat will probably find out. Krebsy will probably give us the information. All right. If you guys have any questions, there's only one question right now.
They're in a sweat fest right now, bro. These guys are playing hardcore.
Yeah, nobody's in the chat because they're all playing.
They're in chat. They're
listening. Yeah, but they can't type.
They're all lurking. It's fine
because they're all playing the game.
Do I not remember when I wanted to play a game really bad?
I mean, when I'm done with this, I'm going to go play the game. So that's
you go. You're going to play the game immediately, and I'm going to watch Kinger as soon as the stream's over. But I'm happy that people are finding fun in the game. We were talking about this for months, bro. For months.
Oh,
what would get people to play this game? Heroes, all of them. Put them all in. Everyone wants to have fun. Put them in. Yeah.
Real quick, Mattel sued over Wicked dolls that include links to porn website on packaging. So they're being sued.
And I want to see the guy fired. I want to know that someone was fired, and I want an announcement. I want an announcement from Mattel that says so-and-so was fired for this disgraceful act who didn't cover their ass. I'm sorry. Yeah. Somebody's got to go down.
So Mattel is being sued for mistakenly printing the URL for a pornographic site on the packaging for special edition Wicked dolls. So it's a class action lawsuit for that. PlayStation, or not PlayStation, Herman Holtz says people, not AI, will make game, PlayStation boss says. PlayStation boss says artificial intelligence has the potential to revolutionize gaming, but he believes it will never replace the human touch of games made by people. Herman Holtz is also the CEO and spoke at the BBC as Sony celebrates the 30th anniversary of the console being launched. The company also had a year marked as highs and lows with the phenomenal success of the PlayStation 5 consoles, and the games offset by big job losses and pattern repeats across the industry. Holtz said, acknowledged AI was changing gaming, but said that there would always be future for human developers. He says, quote, I suspect that there will be a dual demand for gaming or in gaming, one for AI-driven innovative experiences and the other for handcrafted, thoughtful content, to be told at BBC. What he means there, Sarge, is that we could just throw the numbers in and make battle royales and all this stuff. That'll be AI-driven. But if you want handcrafted stories, then that'll be a human touch, basically, is what he's saying.
Well, because he's got to lay the foundation for the fact that he's getting ready to lay off half of his staff because he can use AI to do the same job, right? He's got to say that, because otherwise it's going to be like, well, you're just going to fire everybody and use AI, and where you can't use AI, those are the people that you hire. That's it.
Right.
Right. And don't lie to me and tell me that's not how it's going to happen. If a company can find a way to use AI to make a game and save on labor, you're damn well better right they're going to do it. Right? Is it going to be an upfront cost? Hell yes. Hell yes, it's going to be upfront cost, because the guys who made the AI software are probably going to charge them an arm and a leg. Which only stands to reason why you would fire even more people, because you spent too much money on your AI processes. Right? It's going to happen eventually. But the silver lining, which I try to say every week, is if that's the case, then what we should end up with is more companies with more AI and human beings, because it becomes cheaper to make a studio, right? Because you can hire less people, and that way we will have more competition in the gaming market and better games in the long run. That should be the silver lining. We will see.
Well,
we will see.
There's another story. Elon Musk hints at buying Hasbro for D&D after announcing AI gaming studio. It says the same day Elon Musk announced that he would starting his own AI game studio to make video games great again, he teased purchasing Hasbro to secure the rights to D&D. Now, Elon Musk may be the world's wealthiest man, but he's also an elite gamer. He's also having shockingly become the Diablo's best player. After I don't even know how he has time for that. After setting a world record in the game's hardest challenge.
Time, bro.
On November 27th, after hearing a fan complain about the manipulative BS that's going on in the game development, Musk announced that plans to change things. He says too many game studios that are owned by massive corporations. He said at XAI is going to start AI game studio to make games great again. Okay, too many game studios that are also owned by massive corporations. Okay, and now it seems like Musk has his eye on another property and seeking to change the way. Here's my thing. I don't want Elon Musk buying everything, right? I don't care what anyone thinks about him, if you like him, if you hate him, or whatever. Nobody should own everything, okay? And he just keeps getting wealthier and wealthier, right? The problem here is I think he should buy Hasbro. I think he should buy certain companies just to get him away from these corporations and then find a right home for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like taking an abusive animal away from somebody and then finding a good home for it. Okay? Like you said the other day in the stream, you said we should all take our money, buy Star Wars from Disney, and then give it to the people to make the actual stories for Star Wars, right?
Like in Wisconsin, Green Bay owns the Packers.
Yes, Green Bay owns the Packers, right?
The people own the Packers. It's the only team. It's the only team that does that.
Right.
The people own the Packers.
So
what's the problem with we do a GoFundMe, we get everyone together, you get one, everyone gets the one share. The one share. That's all you get. You don't get multiple shares.
Right.
One
share.
Yeah. Everybody gets it. And then we own fucking Lucas. And then we hire a lawyer. We hire a director. We go, we want you to do the movie. Just send it to our lawyers, and we'll have a Discord where everyone and we vote yes or no. We like it. We don't like it.
Right.
Done. It's got to be better than what's going on now.
Right. Well, Dupless, here's the thing, right? He won't find a right.
Skeleton Crew, really?
Actually, people are saying it's pretty good so far.
I see the Ewok Christmas special is what I see, bro.
I see Goonies is what I see. Like, right? Dupless says we won't find a rightful owner for it. Let's be honest. But listen to this.
It's the
Hasbro
being destroyed, Dupless.
Yes.
It's
Hasbro. You're old enough, right? Go to a toy store. There's no toys. There's no toys.
There is no toys.
Hasbro, the maker of toys, okay, who bought Mattel, who bought all these things.
They don't want to make toys. They already announced
They don't want to make toys anymore.
Yeah. Digital stuff is what they're into. That's it.
Okay. And then they're changing things because they're ruining stuff where, look, Elon himself doesn't have time for this shit, right? But he just wants to buy it to get it away from them so it could live on, so Hasbro can make fucking toys, right? So yeah, so for and D&D can be D&D, okay? Not corporate D&D. What they think that D&D is not inclusive. D&D's always been inclusive. That was the whole thing. You can always make who the fuck you want.
All the kids you never liked all played together in a room, played D&D. The ones that you didn't want to hang out with.
That's right.
The ones that they all segregated away all got together and played the game together. That's how that worked.
It's so ridiculous, right? It's so ridiculous that we have to. We're like, because none of us can afford to take it, because the corporations are so big, no one can buy them because they keep buying companies up, and they keep buying companies up, and they become too over expensive for anyone to buy it. So the only one that can buy it is Apple, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, right? This is it. This is why these 4 companies buy all these other companies up, because they have to keep growing, and they're the only ones that can afford it, right?
And that's why we have to smash
Except, unless you get some Saudi Arabian dude that comes over and buys something, unless you get Elon Musk to buy something, then it's a corporation. Otherwise, it's just a solo person, and a solo person potentially could be better than a corporation because they could give it to something. Maybe they have so much money, they're just like, you know what, I don't even care if I fucking lose it. I'm just trying to save toys.
Let's go back before I jump off a cliff from all the conversation that we're having. You do realize how much efficiency Elon Musk must have if he's number 1 or number 2 in fucking Diablo, and he's got what, 4 kids,
yeah,
5 kids,
12.
and
He's got 12 kids.
Okay, I'm sorry, my fault. 12 kids and
12
running SpaceX, running all this stuff, but somehow he manages still to be number 2 or number 1 in fucking Diablo. That's called efficiency, bro.
Right.
It's called efficiency.
He's like, can we wrap this up? I got 12 minutes to go to do one run in Diablo. Yeah.
Right. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. That motherfucker's got it down to the minute. Right? That's just what it is. That's just what it is.
Dupless, he just shows up, lays waste, and then goes back to work. He doesn't have time to hang out with his wives.
He don't have time.
He's running companies and playing Diablo, for God's sakes. Okay.
Do you understand how busy you are? When you're on that level, how busy you actually are? The fact that he plays games at all says that he probably calls like an official timeout. Like everyone's just coming out and he's like,
yeah, I gotta go play Diablo real fast.
I need my timeout.
Maybe Altern's right. Maybe he has the chip in his head and he's playing Diablo while he's doing everything else.
Wouldn't doubt it. Wouldn't doubt it.
It's plausible.
Plausible.
Yeah, it's very plausible.
Absolutely plausible.
Let's go to the Q&A. I'm going to take off the banner down so there's no more questions asked. We have 7 questions. Our first question. Oh, wait. Before we even go there, I'm sorry. We got to go to Q&A. All right, Sarge. First question up is by Salty. He says, who is Sarge's favorite Marvel character?
There's too many, bro. There's too many. Over the years, I flip-flopped over the years. When I was a really young kid, and we had that old Spider-Man cartoon used to come on early in the morning before we went to
Spider-Man
school.
and Friends?
No, before that one, the original one that looks like a comic book.
Oh,
there was an old Spider-Man. I used to love Spider-Man even back then. Then it was Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, of course, right? Then Iron Man was in there for a while. I had Hulk. I had like the 12-inch dolls. I'm not sure if you guys remember those. They look like Barbie dolls,
with
but
the cloth.
Heroes.
They had the cloth.
They had the cloth clothing on them. You guys might be too young to know that, but if you look them up, you'll find them. Like I had a bunch of those. I had a bunch of those figures when I was a kid. I used to play with them all the time. There's so many. The ones I remember from when I was from a kid.
I think
Iron Man, Hulk. For some reason, I like the Falcon a lot. Black Falcon. I don't think it was called Black Falcon. That was a DC guy.
No, just called Falcon.
I think it was just called Falcon.
He was just called Falcon.
Yeah, he had like the red suit with the white wings.
Yeah, with the white wings. Yeah.
There's just so many characters, man. So many. Then when the Secret Wars comics started coming out, I remember collecting the Secret Wars comics. I used to buy all the Secret Wars figures that had the little hologram shield that used to hold the guys on. Those figures, like for back in those days, that like was the best size figure. They weren't really articulate, but they looked good. You're right, Salty. He doesn't sleep. You can't sleep when you're that much shit. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I liked a lot of bad guys because even in the old Spider-Man cartoon, he fought everybody. He fought the Lizard Man, the Rhino, Sandman, Mysterio,
Well,
Doc Ock.
let me ask you. Obviously, did you ever play Overwatch? I think you played Overwatch like one time.
I played Overwatch in the very beginning for like a week.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know why you guys like this.
What character? To add to his question, what character would it take to come into Marvel Rivals for you to give it a shot?
Half of them I would play, they're already there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot of the characters that you guys already have in there, I would play.
All right. Next question. Krebsy says, any interesting things you got for Black Friday? I got this monitor. I got the monitor, which I talked about earlier in the stream.
Interesting? I don't know about interesting. I don't buy anything for myself usually on Black Friday. I'm looking for gifts for other people. Interesting. I found a motorized cat toy in a bag. So basically, it's a bag with a ball inside, and the cat chases
it. Moves by itself? Okay.
And it moves by itself. So I think that's kind of interesting because that way you don't lose the ball, but the mat moves around. It's weird. I thought it was a weird concept, but
the monitor I got, Duplis, it's a AOC. It's a C27G4X. That's the model number of it. It's a 180 hertz monitor. It does half a millisecond refresh. It's got like a built-in crosshair that you could do for first-person shooters. It does the frames per second on the screen, not within the software. Like it's in the screen itself. I got it for, I think it was $128 at Best Buy on Black Friday. It's a 27-inch curved monitor. I like it. It's very good. For the price, can't beat it.
How curved?
Not too bad. It's not like if you take and bend it. It's just a slight curvature. Yeah.
Do you get to see more in Rivals because of the monitor's curve like that?
I don't know. I haven't turned it on yet. No, I haven't turned it on yet. Yeah, it's not like a high end AOC monitor. It's a mid-tier AOC monitor. For the price, we couldn't pass it up. Yeah. I had a 19-inch monitor, like old shitty one I needed to replace. So that's what we got this to replace. So all right. Next question. Question is from Duplis. Paragraph here says, question, was it wrong for Warner Brothers to say that they were going to make Harry Potter series more accurate to the books a year ago, but now inaccurately cast someone who doesn't meet the books? So what Duplis is bringing up, Sarge, is he didn't get the role yet, but one of the guys that's up for the role is a black gentleman. Okay, and there's a rumor going around that J.K. might be suing Warner Brothers because they're going too far from what she wanted from the books. Now, the books she has. Now, there are black characters in Harry Potter's world, okay, and there's Asian people and there's white people, and so it'll be interesting to see what happens. I don't know if Warner Brothers takes the liberty. I mean, they own the rights. She did the books. They own the rights to the thing, so they can do what they want. Now, there was another article that talked about that Warner Brothers says she's more than welcome to her opinion, right? But they basically are making the last decisions, right? So my question is it, my question to you guys is it a big deal? I mean, I'm not a Harry Potter massive fan, right? I'm a Star Wars fan, though. And if you replaced Luke Skywalker with a different person, I would be kind of upset because it was already established that who he was. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with the main characters. Snape is being changed potentially to a black gentleman, which in the books is described. It's a pale white skinned dude, like is the character. So
all that means is Warner Brothers has DI influences inside the company, which makes them have to do what they do. And so JK can either decide she wants to sue them on basis of her own work or let it go. That's what's going to end up happening. That's just what it is. It's just what it is.
Yeah. All right. The next one says, question, are you going to try Path of Exile 2 or wait till it releases? No, I'm going to get it early access. I'm just not going to get it tomorrow. I'm going to wait, see if the servers hold up and whatnot. Might pick it up to next week. But at the same time, I might hold off if I really like Marvel Rivals. So it's going to, see what happens there.
So let me understand this. It's not on console, just PC right now, right?
No, it's coming to console.
So it's a early access on
Early
PC
access.
and console,
Correct.
and it's crossplay,
Crossplay,
but not cross experience.
No, it's cross progression, cross play, and couch co-op. Marvel Rivals is not cross progression.
So that means I could get it for my PC and my console.
Well, when it's free to play, you can get them for both and have cross play, cross progression.
Yeah.
If you get it now, then you would have to buy it for both. Correct.
Yeah. So I think I'm just gonna end up getting it for PC. I
Okay.
don't want to deal with all those controls on
Okay.
the console.
I'm
I'm gonna set aside some time. I want to play. I want to try it because Diablo put me in a hole, and I didn't want to listen to them anymore about
Right.
how to play the game. So
Lucas says, question 30. No idea if you talked about this in the past, but I noticed you like Transformers. What are your thoughts on Michael Bay movies? I think they're the bane of my existence. I hate them. They're pieces of shit. The only one I liked was the very first one and Bumblebee. The first one was good because it was the first one, and I was just like, all right, this is interesting. I hated Michael Bay, what he did to the actual franchise. I hate his designs of the robot. The only reason I have this one up behind me is my brother-in-law, who loves me, love him. Okay, he gave me a Transformers because he knew I liked Transformers, but he bought me a Michael Bay Decepticon Transformers, which I hate but love at the same time, because the fact that he listened and knows that I like Transformers and got me this because he found it and was like, you know what, I'm gonna give this to him. I appreciate that. I love that and I respect that, but I don't like that Transformer. Right? I'm not a big fan of that model of it, but it's okay. Because just the fact that he gave it to me at all is a huge thing, right? So I don't like it. My favorite one is G1. I love the original Transformers. Devastation, or not Devastation. Yeah, the game was called Devastation.
Devastation.
Yeah, fantastic Transformers game. I'm looking so forward to seeing anything that happens from Transformers Reactivate. When that game comes out next year, it doesn't matter what game. That's the game I'm playing because I love Transformers. Love Transformers.
And with all the CGI now, they could easily have done G1 and made it look cool. I just don't. You want to spend that much money on transformation for the cool factor, but you didn't need to do all that shit.
Yeah, it's terrible. The new Transformers movie, Transformers 1, pretty good. I wish they took a little bit more time. If you watch the movie, you'll know what I mean. Act 3 was like super fast. They could have taken their time with the Decepticons and whatnot, but they kind of just like rushed it.
Let me ask you a question. Did they follow the story from the original Transformers series where the Decepticons were worker bots and the diplomats were the Autobots? Do they follow that into the
No. In the movie, the Autobots are the workers. The Autobots are the blue collar workers. They're the ones in the mines doing the stuff. And the Decepticons in this movie were shunned. They were out. They were like pushed out of the society.
So they couldn't even get that right.
Yeah. So what they did was there's a character. I don't want to go through the whole plot, but there's a character that one of the primes, okay, is running, Cybertron, okay, basically, and he's in charge, but something nefarious went on. And then there's two sides, which is Decepticons.
Usually happens in government.
So the Decepticons are on one side and the Autobots on the other, but it's good. It's a good thing. It's early on before the war of Cybertron. It's before that.
Because the war didn't happen until after.
Yeah, they're like him and Megatron are like best friends, right? So it's a good story. I liked it. All right, Krebsy says, do you think that what Insomniac is starting to do, developing multiple smaller projects instead of one big project, will become more common with the big AAA studios?
Should.
Yeah, you're talking about the Spider-Man and then breaking up Spider-Man 3 into certain parts. Is that what you're talking about, Krebsy? Yeah, I think they'll do that because regardless, the game's still going to cost, let's say, $500 million. But they break it up, and the first game only costs $120 million. And then the second part of it costs another $120 million, and the third one cost, you know what I mean? Like,
and what game has already done that?
Well, Destiny did that.
Final Fantasy VII did that.
Well, no, but Destiny did the exact same thing. Destiny.
No, but what I'm saying is that's plausible now. The Final Fantasy VII remake being divided into 3 parts, right? You could just copy pasta that exact formula for whatever game you want to make, right?
Yeah.
It works.
So
the IP is big enough that you want to finish the game, so you're going to buy all the parts of the game, right?
I think they do that 100%. Now I don't know if they make it $70 for each one, or if they make the first game $70 and the second game $60.
Oh no! No, bro. It gets
No, they're going
worse than
70,
that.
70, 70.
No, it gets worse than that. It's going to be a 3-part game, and you pay all of it at once for a discounted rate.
Up front, you have to wait 3 years.
Otherwise, you pay $70 for each game.
Oh, that's
what
smart. You have to wait 3 years, so you pay $300 or
Oh,
$100,
it's
$180,
it's $200,
$210,
$210,
3 years in advance,
right?
and then you wait.
Right. So you get the game. If you buy it up front, it's $180. Otherwise, it's $210.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Destiny did that. So
Right.
And the last question is Altern says, if you could take the characters and movesets and power of Marvel Rivals, what other game would you make? Not Ultimate Alliance top-down RPG. If I could just take the builds of what they are and move them over to another game, I would make the Marvel's Avengers game that it was, but with these characters, or a Destiny game, but with these characters. That's what I would make. Basically, what I would make what Transformers Reactivate's supposed to be, but with Marvel characters.
And you already know how I already saved 2 franchises. This is Battlefield G.I. Joe
Yeah.
and Battlefield Transformers. So you guys know how I feel about that.
So Battlefield Marvel Rivals.
Well, it wouldn't be exactly the same as that. I'm talking about my versions.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
I mean, wouldn't you want the structural environment with the heroes? Wouldn't that make sense? I'm running around destroying buildings with the heroes. That would make sense, right?
Krubsy is adding to his question. No, I mean making Wolverine, Venom, Spider-Man 2, etc. Instead of 300 mil Spider-Man 2 with 70% of the devs, it's a 100 mil project with 30% of the devs.
All the eggs are not in one basket, so yeah.
Now, well, the problem is, I don't think they can get the projects down to 100 mil.
But they're not the size of the AAA game you're talking about. They're smaller games, is what Krebsy's saying. They're smaller games.
No, I got you. I still don't think they can get it down to 100 mil. Because what would that mean for you as the consumer? Are you paying for $40? Are you paying $50?
They're bloated, bro. It's been discussed. It's starting to come out more and more now that these studios are bloated.
The 100 mil isn't a filler number. I just don't know. Like, I see them breaking a game up into 3 parts. I don't see them doing what you're saying as far as making smaller games. Like instead of making a 20-hour game, they're making an 8-hour game. Right? I don't see them doing that because they've already established the tone. Right? So if Spider-Man 1 was 15 hours and Spider-Man 2 was 15 hours, and I don't think they make it smaller. I think they've established it. Otherwise, because now they're charging more money for the games. Right? Now they're charging $70 for the games. And now they're making them smaller bits and pieces of the game. I don't know if that would work. I don't know. All right. You guys are also. I'm having so much fun with Marvel Rivals. We're okay. So what I'm going to do with Marvel Rivals, I'm not going to play so much. I'm just going to check it out, look at all the characters, look at the skins, look at the battle passes, look at all the stuff. We're going to just explore. You guys are playing it and stuff like that. So I'm going to explore, break it down, and look at all the stuff and admire it. And then maybe I'll play a couple games. All right. So that's going to do it for Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. If you guys like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We do this on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be back next week for the Game Awards on December 12th. But it will not be a normal show. We're not covering gaming news. We are covering the Game Awards show. Guests on the show with us will be the Kingard and also Greg Owen. So it'll be 4 of us on the panel here. We'll be watching it. And what I do recommend, if you guys, because this program is a little weird when we're watching videos, it gets a little bogged down every once in a while or skips audio. If you guys are going to watch the Game Awards, put it on one channel, put us on the other side so you hear us bantering back and forth between all 4 of us. And yeah, we'll have a good time next week. So appreciate it very much. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.
Game on, guys.
I'm doing a stream right after this as well for Marvel Rivals, so stay tuned for about 10 minutes.
They're two brothers and gamers that have been playing games since the early 1980s. Combined, they have over 65 years experience. Join them each week as they discuss and rant about gaming and entertainment news. This is Generation X Gaming.